Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another Canadian weather live stream. Today we are looking at storms in southern Quebec, and we're going to jump quickly into it because one of the lines has gone severe warned. So I just want to update everybody on what's actually currently happening. Hope everybody's having a good day, and we're going to jump right into this. No Connor today. He's on vacation, so he's on the East Coast. Enjoying himself until a couple days into June. So we've got actually Mark Remillard live streaming for us as well. So he's going to be popping in and out of here on the live stream, just out in that area. So I'm going to start immediately with the radar here on the center of our screen. So this is kind of to the northwest of Quebec City or northeast of Montreal. This portion here has gotten severe warned. So this is the area that Environment Canada is currently paying attention to. The meteorologists, we've got this line moving kind of in a southeast direction. So I'm going to show you guys that. We'll drag this down here, and then we'll kind of play the cycle on this radar. So you can see that there's mostly an easterly component to it, but there is a slight southerly component to it. So it did just get severe warned there, and that's what's brought out the severe warning for this afternoon. So let me just take a look here, click on the warning, and I'll bring this quickly up. So at 4:35 p.m., so this is about 13 minutes ago, the meteorologists at Environment Canada were tracking a line of severe thunderstorms capable of producing damaging wind gusts up to quarter-size hail and heavy rain. So that is what this is basically warned for right now. If we bring it back here, I'm going to see which radar I'm on. I think I'm on the wrong radar, so let me bear with me. Yes, okay, this is the better radar, the closer radar. So you can see how that kind of changed the look of the line. So I want to highlight a few areas right now that's between Highway 155 and it looks like coming into 367. You can see in the center here we have some pixels of purple or even dark red, and a lot of park area or very rural environment here that the storm is going through right now. So just heading southeast, and that's what we're concentrating on. But these pixels of purple, anybody who's new here, will show you that there's potential of hail starting in this line of storms. This would be very small at best if there was. So just that's something to keep out an eye for. It's going south, kind of, moving east with a southerly component to it. So Rivière-à-Pierre, Lac aux Sables, all those areas down that way, and then further eastward down into Saint-Raymond. Those areas need to take caution with this as it approaches. Right now, the biggest concern is going to be the wind. Obviously, heavy precipitation and heavy rain. If you look on the right side of our screen, you'll see Mark's live stream. He is chasing today. So he is kind of heading up in this general direction. So we'll see if we get some views from him on the live stream off of his vehicle there. So thank you, Mark, for streaming for us today up in the Quebec area. So this is what's going on. This is what we're paying attention to. I will bring up the Environment Canada information as well, and we'll take a quick look at that. But I'm just kind of playing this back and forth so you can understand the progression of this line. So thank you everybody for tuning in. I know this is outside of the Eastern Ontario side of things. We are expanding things. We're trying to provide coverage in more areas. Obviously, looking at this point, Quebec City is about 4 hours from the Ottawa area, roughly. So again, north of Trois-Rivières or Three Rivers. So this is what we're paying attention to right now. I will bring up the Environment Canada graphic that was put out. This is the thunderstorm outlook that they put out for the area. The region that was highlighted this morning, obviously in yellow, that's the portion that has the biggest significance in terms of severe weather. They're calling for 90-kilometer wind gusts within that, 2 to 3 centimeter hail, and 30 to 40 millimeters of rain. And we even have the tornado slinky or icon on there. That is not out of the realm, although the probability is very low with that today. So that's what we're keeping our eye on as we progress through the afternoon. And if I back out the software here, you can see that giant watch area. So the light yellow is the watch, and the bright yellow area is the warning for this line of storms. So again, wind with this one is our biggest threat right now. There may be the slight potential for hail, but we do have some very significant winds buried in this. Now, this is off the ground, but we are getting readings of 80, 90, 100 kilometers an hour almost in some spots on this line. So northwest of Rivière-à-Pierre, that seems to be a hot spot for some of the wind that we're seeing. I do want to highlight, I'm just going to turn that off. You're seeing all these pixelations where you've got reds and greens kind of mixing together. This is all radar, what I call radar noise, unfortunately. It's not a clean image per se. If I switch over to velocity or to reflectivity, this is showing what's in the storm. So how dense whatever is falling is inside that storm. So this obviously, again, is rain, maybe a bit of hail, but heavy precipitation. When we're looking at velocity, that is how fast something is moving towards or away from the radar. So towards the radar is green, away from the radar is red. That's how you get your directions. So you can see, again, we got a lot of noise down here. We will try and work through that. It does cause some confusion when you do get these greens and reds together, because that usually indicates rotation, but that's hard to say when you get into that noise, whether it's noise or whether it's actually rotation. So I will do my best to interpret radar today for you folks, and we'll stay on top of it. So give me 1 sec. I'm just going to jump quickly in the comments. Walter, thank you for being on board. This is what we're here for. Dr. Romero saying that it feels like somebody opened the oven. Warm in here in Nepean, and yes, we do have some pretty high temperatures. Just going to bring up our temperature stations in the area that we have available to us. So in Quebec, where these storms are, we have 22, 23, 24, but when you start moving southwest, you're getting into those upper 20s, and Ottawa's 30 degrees Celsius. Kemptville, where I'm located, is at 27, but we have no storms for this area right now. There may be some minor storms later this evening, but nothing of any significance or any kind of impact. More likely we'll stay on the Quebec side of the Ottawa River, and we've just gotten a large warning up here, so we're going to take a look at this just to see what the radar is showing up here. So and I'm going to show you guys that it's really hard. There's quite a bit of a radar hole up here, so a lot of times it's hard to see everything that's going on because our radars are spaced pretty far apart, especially in this area right here. But bringing up this closer radar, the Environment Canada folks are, again, when we start seeing those purple pixels, that's what will tend to draw people's attention. So this is west of Chambord, Roberval, it looks like, and Lac Bouchette. So though that's moving kind of eastward. So again, this storm is the one that just got warned. I'll bring it up to the latest frame, kind of back it out a little. You can kind of see how that's getting organized. So this is moving eastward and something to pay attention to. I will read the thunderstorm warning here. 4:53 p.m. Environment Canada tracking severe thunderstorm capable of producing damaging wind gusts, quarter-size hail, and heavy rain. So that's the theme right now. It's just the winds with possibly some hail associated to it. So I'm going to quickly jump in and take a look at what the wind looks like in this one. It's far away from the radar, but the wind is definitely on the higher end of the scale. So these are going to be, associated with some strong wind gusts as it comes through. These are not broad or large storms, so they shouldn't last too long. And they are moving at a decent clip. So it should be short-lived depending how you interact with it, where you're located, obviously. But those are the two areas we are currently paying attention to. So anybody just jumping on this line right here is the severe warning up there, and then this line down here heading towards Quebec City and Lévis and all that area towards the St. Lawrence River. That's the two areas that we are paying attention to right now. So once again, we do have multiple radar sites that we're dealing with. So let me just bring this up on the southern one. And we'll continue to bounce back and forth between the two, but this is heading eastward towards Saguenay. All of this area up here to the east, it might scoot a little bit south of the lake, but it'll probably still go across Lac Saint-Jean. And they have just updated the warning again. I'm not sure for what, so we'll take a quick look to see if there's anything that's changed here. So that was 3 minutes. Okay, they put the location of the storm. So the storm is located east of Lac Cyprès and is tracking eastward at 70 kilometers an hour. So that is moving very quickly. So this will cover ground very fast. Obviously, at 70 kilometers an hour, we're starting to get close to highway speeds. I just jumped into that because we had... the warning pop up, but just wanted to go back to the graphic that was put out. So obviously the yellow region, which is exactly what we're talking about right now, where these severe storms are going in. This is what Environment Canada put out. So 90-kilometer winds, 2 to 3 centimeter hail. Just repeating what I mentioned earlier, quite a bit of rain, 30 to 40 millimeters of rain, and a potential for a tornado. It's on the low end, but the possibility is there. The gray area, which is the A area, a little less in terms of severe, 70-kilometer winds, 1 centimeter hail, and 20-30 millimeters of rain. So that's the differentiation right there as this starts to move eastwards. So let me just bring back up our main screen here, and then I'll take a quick look at our radar. So yes, again, this line up here, a little bit of lightning associated with it. You can see all these lightning strikes are isolated to this line up here to the north. So that's the intense portion. And then you can see where the lightning lines up with this line as well. That's how we know we have some severe strength in these storms, good amount of lightning, and obviously the reflectivity on the radar. Okay, let me jump back in to comments. What else have we got? Good afternoon. How are you holding up? Thank you always for keeping up to date about weather and storm coming our way in Ottawa. Andre, Ottawa is out of the game today for the most part. Again, we may have some minor showers later on this evening, but I think it's going to stick more to the Quebec side of the Ottawa River. But it would be late and it would be just minor storms, nothing to be concerned about. PB Storm Chaser, yeah, I wish I can chase today. Unfortunately, he's stuck to work. We were chatting earlier before we came on the stream. Obviously, close to the Montreal area, so this is somewhat in his backyard, but we got to all pay the bills at some point, so totally understand that. Just going to bring up here Mark's stream. He's just on a back road here. They are obviously looking to see what to do here, but that looks like the severe line that's approaching them. So they're, according to the tracking, they're at Lac aux Sables in Quebec, and so that's the line coming. That's a beautiful view, actually, of the storm line, and I will bring up the main screen here just to show you folks what part of the stuff that he's looking at. So that would be this southern portion. So that's this line right here. That Mark is looking at right there. So that's the portion of the storms that he's looking at when we look at his live stream right here. So fairly dark back there. Again, buried with quite a bit of rain. So
Je pense
that's
que juste le
it's about
météo
24
radar.
degrees where he's sitting. That's a rough estimate. But this again is a
Ce
great
météo-là.
view from Mark. So thank you again, Mark. Let's just take a look here and we'll see if this continues. I'm just going to check the wind velocities in this one. Just to see if they've changed. There's an area here where we have quite a bit of wind packed into this little tight area. So just to the west of Rivière-à-Pierre, that is an area that I would be paying attention to in terms of wind strength. So this will blow stuff around. And if we are getting 80 kilometers an hour or maybe even more on the surface, this area here, that's going to blow stuff around, obviously cause tree damage and that kind of stuff, just based on what the radar is currently showing. So just wanted to point that out to folks who may be in the path of this. And again, this is just Lac aux Sables is to the south of this. So this is kind of where Mark is sitting right now, highlighted here in this area. I don't have an exact location, but he is sitting down here looking kind of up at the line of storms as they're moving. So that's what Mark is paying attention to there. So, we'll continue to monitor things as this progresses along. So, that's our initial line, and then again we do have this secondary line up here at the top. The hail signature has definitely gone up, obviously quite remote up here, not a lot of road network, but it is making its way towards an area where there is definitely more population. So that is something we need to pay attention to as this moves further eastward. And I'll just play that cycle so we can see here how this has progressed over the last few scans. So this has, what time is this at? This is at 4:30. So in the last half an hour, this has picked up some intensity and it's kind of organizing itself. Obviously the strongest spot here with this purple, there's almost guaranteed to be hail in this, also associated with a lot of lightning. And I'm sure the winds are picking up in this. So again, we are showing some high bright green. They're almost blue. Those are some high wind velocities. So again, with this associated line will be quite a bit of wind as it moves through. So something to keep in mind there, which is this is to the south again, what Mark is looking at. So we've got a view of that as it's progressing. It has a nice look to it, but obviously packing a bit of a punch when this will move through the area. Okay, let me jump back in with questions. Rick saying he wish he could chase as well. Yes, absolutely. I wish I could be out there myself, but it is what it is at this point. Good to see Helix from Australia. Always amazed that you tune in. Thank you very much. It makes it an international flavor for us. And this is, again, this is a more remote region of Quebec up until it gets down here. Obviously, along the St. Lawrence, there's quite a bit of population there. So coming into Quebec City, especially, there's quite a bit of population there. So all along here, we are definitely going to pay attention as that moves through towards this area. And again, switching to the closest radar here, that line is definitely packing a punch as well. So we will continue to monitor it throughout the afternoon, and we'll see how long this stream goes for. But I appreciate everybody that's tuning in. It's awesome to have you guys out on the stream. So Helix saying, I'm not really here. I'm glad to see you here, and we will definitely, I'm far away from the storms today, so I'm definitely going to stay dry, but hopefully nothing too serious happens. We did last Tuesday have some tornadoes in London that we were covering down in the Ontario side, so we did live stream that as that was happening, and we got warnings out to people in advance as that cluster or series of storms made it through southern Ontario. It definitely packed a pretty serious punch. So what else is going on here? Rick saying, yeah, I'd expect Saguenay to get warned soon at that speed. And yes, I expect the warning for this northern storm to move further east, even Alma, Saint Félicien, they're probably going to get that warning because this is, again, moving at a pretty quick pace. I'm going to check here to see if they do have anything in terms of speed on this storm. They don't. And that's one of the things that makes it hard for us. Our software provider is working on a solution that we will be able to estimate the speed of storms through the software itself. Obviously, it will be only an estimation, but it'll be a fairly reasonably accurate one. So that's coming, but it's not available yet. It would help me because I can then tell you kind of timing wise what's coming and how long till it's there. So this storm has moved into Rivière-à-Pierre. I know we were talking about that. So it's already made that distance and it will be into Saint-Raymond, Lac-aux-Sables, and moving further south and east as it moves along. So this warning out in front of this line is going to get pushed further south and east. But this would be our intense portion of the line. And it is, again, moving mostly in this direction in an easterly portion, but it is reaching out a little bit to the south as well. So kind of southeast east is what we're expecting. So if you're anywhere, Quebec City, it's coming that way. It's not going to be long till it's in Quebec City. Obviously, and into the more populated areas. So, we have areas like we mentioned Saint-Raymond, Lac-Beauport. All of those places are definitely in line with this and further to the north and east. So, heading up towards Baie Saint Paul and then eventually across the river. And we'll see what takes place then. So, zoom back in here, take a look at. Oh, here we go. Warning just got extended. It's been pushed east a little bit, and so we'll update this. So 5:07 p.m. just now, basically they are tracking that line of storms, and same thing, it's damaging wind gusts, quarter-size hail, and heavy rain. Nothing new in there. They've just taken that warning and pushed it further eastward as this cluster or this line of storms continues to move that way. Let's take a look at this one up at the top here. So 5:05 p.m. was our last scan, so still hail indicated on there. A little bit less, but obviously in this line there is quite a bit of precipitation and wind and lightning. So again, moving east, that is kind of heading towards Chambord and Lac Bouchette and Héberville as well to the east. So those are all kind of in line with that. So we'll continue to update as that does move eastward as well. So what else have we got? Okay, so Robert Mockett, hey guys, good to see you in here as well. Logger John, obviously good to see you from near Perth. We are hanging out on the Quebec side today. Definitely some potential for some higher end severe there. So again, mostly high winds and maybe some hail with a lot of rain. So yeah, it's definitely windy here on the Ontario side, even back southwest of this. And I can actually take a look at that. I was curious what our stations were showing. So let's just take a look at wind speed and switch over to that. So we've got some 30, 40, even along the river here, we've got almost into the 50-kilometer-hour wind gusts. These are gusts not sustained, but Ottawa, 40 kilometers an hour there. Pembroke and Deep River and Petawawa area, about 40 kilometers an hour. So you can see there's some areas with quite a bit of wind. Montreal, getting some gusts of 40 kilometers an hour as well. So something to pay attention to. I'm just going to bring up Mark's live stream here. You can see a bit of a shelf-like structure. So that bottom portion of the storm, you can kind of see a line or a shelf forming there. In behind that light gray, you're getting a ton of rain happening there as well. So that's what's going on there. And I'm just going to change something here. I noticed on my audio settings. Give me 1 second here. There we go. Yeah, so I apologize. I had my sorry, just working on an audio thing here. There was a bit of noise from Mark's stream, obviously. I didn't have that adjusted properly, so I've been kind of talking over him. But hopefully, everybody could, hear what I had to say, and I've kind of corrected that at this point. So we'll keep watching his stream. If anything crazy or exciting happens, we'll jump to him. But little side note, Mark Remillard actually is one of the co-creators of a storm chasing video game that you can play on your PC. So anybody who is a storm enthusiast, if you want to storm chase, you can chase tornadoes in a game called Outbreak, and I've been playing it for 2 years and love the game. It's my outlet right now for storm chasing because I can't do the real thing for the most part. I'm obviously in front of the camera here, relaying information to you folks, but it's a fun game to play, and it's very realistic in the sense that you start to learn what you need to look at on radar, how to find the areas that are of concern, and that kind of stuff. So it's actually a really cool game to play. So that's a bit of a plug for Mark. He helps us out a lot. So, and I love the game. So it's definitely fun to chase in, and you can chase in a Dominator even. So yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. So the winds look like they're fairly strong here around the Rivière-à-Pierre area as it goes over Highway 367 heading towards Saint-Raymond. Again, that bright area of green is where our area of concern for those stronger winds. So again, we're showing 86 kilometers an hour. I'm sure if I dig around, I might get something in the 90-kilometer-hour range. Now, that's not on the surface, but I guarantee you it's windy under this storm. So just something to pay attention to as it's moving eastward. So that's the area of concern there. There's a bit higher wind starting to pick up here. Again, we are north of the populated areas, but we're in a bunch of parks basically, so very rural, but there is wind picking up, and I can kind of highlight that. So just in this area here, we do have some higher winds starting to show themselves, so we will continue to monitor that as well on these storms. So and then let's just jump back up here. I'm going to make sure, just checking to see if I'm missing any comments. I know today isn't going to be a super busy stream just because it's, again, a fairly remote area. Once it gets into Quebec City, though, that may change, but comments I should be able to keep up with fairly well. And thank you to my moderators as always. I know Rick's in here, Melissa's in here, so thank you to you guys as always. What else? How's it looking for Vaudreuil-Dorion coming from Captain Sean? So let me pull that up. Give me 1 sec here. Actually, I have to make an adjustment to some of my screens. So let me pull it up here and get you covered. I don't suspect Vaudreuil-Dorion, obviously closer to the Ontario side. You may see storms later tonight, but they are not going to be anything of any significance. So obviously in this area right here, this is Vaudreuil-Dorion, right on the edge of the Ottawa River and St. Lawrence River. So there may be minor storms, but that's all they're going to be is just rain showers. I don't even know if there's going to be any lightning associated with it. So I'm concentrating on this portion right now. Why I keep zooming back in here. It's very evident that this is starting to push out of the storm. So there's this area right here is pushing out, and that generally can create some straight line winds that will cause some damage as it moves out. So that's why I'm kind of concentrating on this and flipping back and forth between, this, and you can see that's the velocity where I was pointing out where those higher winds are. Wind speeds are picking up in that area. So we're going to pay attention to it. It's just giving us indicators that that could be a severe portion. So They've updated the watch here. I think they've just extended it. Yes, they extended it across the river south of Quebec City and eastward. So that's all that is. It's the same thing. They're just saying large hail, heavy rain. There's also a risk of tornadoes with these thunderstorms, and they're not recommending being out on the river. So if anybody is out on the river at this point, I definitely recommend getting shelter as this line approaches. You do not want to be on open water. So please, if you are in the water, find yourself somewhere where you can get some shelter. Let's look back up at this line up at the north here. I'm actually surprised they haven't extended the warning further east, but again, we do have a area here with all that dark red and purple that is hail in there. So still quite a bit west of Lac Bouchette, and I can give you an idea roughly how far. So we'll measure from Lac Bouchette and the 155. It's about 58 kilometers now. They are saying this storm is moving at 70 kilometers an hour. My apologies. So that's less than an hour away. Especially the leading edge of it, but the more intense portion is about 45 minutes away from the 155 and Lac Bouchette. So just keep that in mind as this is moving through. So what else have we got going on here? Expired PCP. Good to see you, Tom. I'm hoping for a bust, but man, the multiple waves of storms looks vicious. And yeah, I've been watching this since about 12:30 today, just paying attention to what's going on with the environment and what's happening. So it's a bit of a tougher situation. I can bring up the satellite imagery, so you can, Expired PCP, what he's talking about, these multiple waves, you can kind of see them on satellite, how they kind of fed into that area. Obviously, Ottawa being somewhat center left, and Montreal would be center right there. And then these storms are all to the north. So that's what you're seeing, all those big clouds starting to form. Those are storm updrafts happening. So we're kind of monitoring the ones that are still back to the northwest, but as this comes further down, you're going to see that these updrafts are going to pick up, and there'll be more activity happening. So just going to grab a drink of water here. That satellite shot actually gives you a really good idea on fluid dynamics, meaning atmosphere is like fluid, so you can just see how everything kind of flows there. So one of the tools we use quite a bit to pay attention to what's happening. So Captain Sean saying, yeah, right now it's windy. And that was what we were just talking about, kind of southwest of all these storms. You can see that wind feeding into it on that radar or on that satellite imagery. So you can see how the winds coming up the St. Lawrence across the Ottawa River through Ottawa are pushing into this line of storms to help feed that warm, moist air into them as they're traveling. And that's what's causing them to initiate and happen. So very evident what you can see here on radar. So I like to point that out just so people have a bit of an understanding as to what is actually taking place and what's causing these storms. So what is the cap on that storm? Andrew asking. If we're talking about the line of storms, in terms of the cap temperature, so cap, when we're talking cap on storms or on weather, is a warmer level of hot air above the storm. So with them going on, I don't think there's much of a cap in place unless you're talking Cape. Which then I would have to switch. I don't really monitor Cape a whole lot right now just because it's not as prevalent. If I had something really big happening, I could look at it to see whether it's going into a better environment. But if you're talking Cape, which is the convective available potential energy, which is what the storms feed on, and if you can see what we were just talking about, that warm, hot air being pushed in with moisture is what will feed those storms. So I'm assuming you're talking Cape, and I would suspect it's fairly reasonable at this point. So we'll go from there and keep up with it. So what else? Tom, ask Mark if he had water and snacks or has water and snacks. I'm pretty sure he's good to go. He's been we chatted about this last night and then this morning. So he's also got somebody with him. So he's good to go, I would say. So anyways, we'll see his stream. He's obviously in a remote area of Quebec, which doesn't have the best cell coverage. So his stream is cutting in and out a little bit. But yeah, that's hopefully it comes back at some point, which I'm sure it will. But we'll continue to pay attention to it. So these stronger winds are now kind of southeast of or south of Rivière-à-Pierre. They look to be heading towards Saint-Raymond. So we're that 367, 365. What other highway is that? It's not highlighted, so I don't. Oh, 354. So a couple of highways out that way. It is moving again eastward. We do have an update here on something. And it's not, it's for, so we also have severe storms out west in Alberta. So I can quickly jump back for there to see what's going on. Let me just take a look to see what they've severe warned out there. Obviously, they do have a little cell here on the Alberta side, more north of Medicine Hat. They are severe warning this at this point, just out of curiosity. Totally different direction for these storms. They're moving northwest, which isn't typical of storms up here. So a little bit of a different day, but that warning out in Alberta saying tracking severe thunderstorm capable of producing damaging winds and up to quarter-size hail. So this is moving northwest in that direction. So kind of northwest from Medicine Hat, north of Medicine Hat, moving northwest up towards 555. So I'm going to bounce back and forth a little bit today. We've also got some storms here over in Saskatchewan. I have a buddy out there who is chasing as well, Curtis. So we'll see if anything happens there. So there are some storms, again, moving kind of in a northerly pattern or northwest, which again is different than what you would expect normally. And it's just because of what the jet stream is currently doing over the next few days. So it's, a ridge is setting in. So let me see here. What time is this latest scan? 5:17. So trying to see when this next scan should come in any minute here down for the southern storms. They have extended the severe warning up here. I missed when that happened, but it is over Lac Saint-Jean, and it has pushed eastward towards Alma, Saint-Bruno, and, eastward from there. Obviously, you can see all the different towns and cities involved there. Let me just make sure I'm on. Yeah, so there is still some hail showing into this core of this storm. Still far from civilization, but this is the pocket that would have the most intense precipitation. And let me just see here, actually. I'm going to check what the winds, and the winds I believe are still, the winds are still elevated. I'll use my inspection tool here. 85 kilometers an hour showing, so almost 90. I just saw 91 kilometers an hour in there somewhere. So definitely a lot of wind associated with these storms as well. So that's what we're going to pay attention to. We do have this very broad rotation, but there is definitely rotation down here on this line, and there's another. So what I'm going to highlight here, we have some couplets that look like they're forming, and I'm going to explain what couplets are for those that don't know. This area here, opposing winds, so you've got your red and green together. This is a much bigger area, but it could be signs of something trying to happen. So again, we talked about green winds heading towards radar, red away from the radar. This is further away, but these are up in elevation, and they just kind of disappeared on that latest scan, which is good. Because we don't want to have, a ton of rotation happening, because then you end up in a situation where, you could have a tornadic, storm happening. And there is, again, we're still monitoring. This is off the closer radar, and I'm going to be paying attention to this area up here. Just you've got a lot of red and green close to each other, so that's usually an indicator of something happening. And again, we could have something down here. Mark just reporting to me here that he's visibly seeing some rotation on the storm. I'm just going to let him know that his stream is not working, but that just could be where he's at. He may hear me, but wow. Wow. Sorry, folks. I hit a button and that spun the world. I apologize about that. Okay, so they have extended the severe warning for this line quite a bit further south because of the speed that it's going at. They have moved it significantly further south, and it's obviously now across the river, including Quebec City, obviously. So you can see all these areas, and I'll bring it up on full screen just so it's better for viewers. You can see that yellow solid line that has moved down across the river and moving kind of east and southeast is where they've extended this warning to. So that's right now what just got updated. I'm going to see if they've put out any new wording. It's basically the same thing: wind gusts, quarter size hail, and heavy rain. And that all they did is just they pushed that warning further out ahead of this line. So that's what we're monitoring right now. So again, we do have some areas of rotation, and Mark is reporting that that's what he's seeing too. And I've got his stream back up here, Mark. Thank you. I don't know if you can hear me, but he's watching that line as well. So he's visually, Mark's a very good storm chaser. So I trust whatever he's saying in terms of what he's seeing on the storms. Has seen plenty of tornadoes in his lifetime, so we've known each other for quite some time. So we'll continue to watch his stream and see if anything does get exciting. But again, what we're seeing here is those opposing red and green winds. That's the area that always draws your attention. But however, this kind of area right in here, because you do have that kind of looping effect. You can see here that there's a bit of a curve to it. You can also see these red winds, which are opposing winds in there. So that's the kind of stuff we pay attention to when we're monitoring or analyzing radar. So I'm going to continue to do that on these storms, but definitely packing a punch. So next scan, it should be very close to Saint-Raymond. Obviously, an area that needs to pay attention if you're in front of this. There are some pixels of purple in here as well. So that again could indicate some hail happening as well. So if you're anywhere here, please heed the warnings and take shelter. Right now, again, mostly straight line winds and also some hail associated there. Andrew, I just saw your comment to thank you. I hope that answered your question again. I don't know the exact Cape values on there, but I figured that's what you were asking about was Cape, not Cap. And I believe we've interacted before on the live streams. So yeah, I remember chatting with you. Your understanding of storms is a little more than the average person. So Lanark County Rick saying power outages south of La Tuque along the river behind the storm line. So thanks for that update, Rick. I'm just going to take a look here. Oh yeah, Mark's asking me. Yes, it is. Chatting with him on Messenger. I don't know if we have an audio channel that we sometimes use, but he's not in there right now. So, but yeah, we're messaging on a messaging app. So let's just take a look here. Mark's got a good view. A lot of precipitation, so you can see how the horizon disappears, and I would say that there's maybe even some hail in the center of the screen because it's got a bit of a more of a white coloration to it, which does indicate hail sometimes. So a lot of precipitation buried in there where you start to lose that horizon. So we'll continue watching what he's got going on here. I'm kind of watching the left portion as well. Obviously, I don't know exactly where he's lined up, so I'm trying to decipher what area to look at. But if I was paying any attention to anything, it would be on the left-hand side there. And we'll continue to see if anything develops over there. So Yeah, that's starting to look mean on the left-hand side there. Okay, we've got another scan that just popped up, so I'll update everybody here. I'll bring it back. We'll continue to jump back and forth there. So, few more pixels of purple here. Like I said, this was going to be on the doorstep of Saint Raymond. Saint Léonard de Portneuf is also right in it right now, but you do have obviously this intense area of precipitation with probably some hail just in that, tucked into that area, heading south and east from there. So if I back out here, we'll take a look. It's tracking kind of in a southerly, southeasterly, I should say, region. So heavy rain buried in there, and we're gonna watch what happens here. So I'm paying attention to Mark's stream. He's also turned the stream to what I was watching, so tells me I still know a little bit about what I'm looking at, but he's watching center of the screen. You can see this coming ahead of the precipitation. I can't really see if there's rotation on that at the bottom. Obviously, quite a ways away, and watching it on a stream isn't as evident with your own eyes sometimes. But that area definitely looks to be an enhanced area of rotation on that storm, which again we are looking at right here. Sorry, let's go right here. So this portion here is what he's looking at, I believe. So we'll continue to pay attention to it as well. So let me back out, go look at those storms to the north. We again have this other storm system up here. So what has happened here, Lac Saint Jean, this has popped just recently, this cell. So I'm going to say that that's picking up some moisture off the lake, obviously, but that looks like it popped in the last few scans. I'll take a quick look here, back it up. So yeah, you can see how that's overland. It's orange and yellow, which is moderate, and then it gets over water, and then boom, you get this explosion of precipitation as that storm is absorbing the moisture. This one here, coming for Lac Bouchette, the hail component, there's no purple in there right now as we speak. That doesn't mean that there won't be any on the next scan, but that is again moving kind of right at Lac Bouchette. The edge of it's there, rain, but the heavy core is back to the northwest somewhat. And I'm going to back out here. I just had another alert. I want to see if it's, oh, they've extended possibly for this storm here in Medicine Hat. I'm bouncing around, but yes, this storm has now some hail on it. This looks like Canadian Forces Base Suffield, kind of to the northeast of it. There are some pixels, and this is moving northward. So I'm going to continue monitoring that just to see what's going on out on the prairies as well. So we'll bounce back and forth, but we will more than, well, obviously we're going to concentrate on the stuff in Quebec. So Mark's stream definitely getting a really nice view on it here. Storm, it looks to be getting very close, quite a bit of precipitation in it. So yeah, it's raining very, very heavily, and again, I would not be surprised if there was hail buried in that as well. So we'll keep watching his stream here. Got a question in the comments. Connor Mockett is on vacation, but he's watching the live stream. That's kind of funny. So good to see you, Connor, in the chat here. He's excited about the left side of the storm as well. And that's how you know we're storm chasers. We're all looking at the same area, paying attention to what's going on. So, you know, again, I'm doing it through a monitor nowadays, but I still get excited when I do see good stuff on the stream. So Mark is probably just moving to relocate to keep ahead of this shortly, because this will catch him pretty quickly. You can see that motion on the right hand side of the screen. I was definitely seeing some quick motion there in terms of just the lower portion of the storm. So Mark's going to have to take a quick closer look, and we'll continue to watch that stream. So And if you have questions, anybody who's new here, obviously, if you do have questions, throw them in the chat. Definitely a great way to interact with us. You also have our email at the top of the screen. I can also share with you guys our best way to contact us. This is where you can find us right now. Obviously, we do have our email. You can submit questions after the stream anytime, really. You can send them if it's weather related. We're happy to answer questions in the emails. Obviously, Facebook page, YouTube as well. And then we do have our merch store where you can pick up some items that, shirts, tank top stickers, mugs, a few other things. You get something and it helps support the channel. So anyways, that's a great way to reach or communicate with us. That's where we're at right now. And anybody who's new, welcome. Definitely love having you guys out here. And this is kind of what we're about right now. So let me bring back here, see if we can get a look at things and continue to monitor this line. So the line stretches pretty far back. I mean, we're talking an area, if we go from one end of the severe to the other, we're 130 kilometers across. So this is kind of like a bulldozer. As it plows through, it's going to cut through. And obviously with those straight line winds, it is definitely going to blow stuff around. Let's take a look at velocities here. So those brighter green areas have dissipated a little bit, but I do pick up, and I don't know, again, this is where we get into that radar noise, whether that's what I'm seeing here. I suspect this may be radar noise, but I could be wrong. So this is kind of an area that I'm paying attention to because, again, you've got your reds and greens close to each other, but I suspect some of this in here is radar noise, which obviously makes it harder to decipher what's going on. And then we do have an area of rotation here. This is broad, what we call broad rotation. And again, to give you an idea how far across this rotation is, we're talking 3.5 kilometers of that red pixelation. So not super tight. Obviously tornadoes are usually hundreds of feet, maybe into the hundreds of meters wide. So when you get 3.6 kilometers, it's just a sign of rotation, which is normal on a lot of storms. It's when that tightens up and gets into a very tight location and the colors get really bright. That's when you start really paying attention to what's going on if you're watching radar. So we will continue to update you guys on that. I'm going to see if I've got another radar here closer. I don't really. I'm just looking back here to see what's happening. I'm going to take a look here from Val-d'Or. That's already moved out. So, okay. So our storms basically at this point is this line back. And it's not, I don't think there's anything so there's the only thing on the Quebec side north of Ottawa, obviously at 105 and 117, there's just regular rain there. That's nothing. That's just moderate rain. Our intensity is isolated to this area here, just about to come into Quebec City. The rain is there, but the really heavy rain and big winds are not into Quebec City just yet, but motoring quickly that way. So, and again, we do have these other storms to the north, which is where I'm zooming in right now. So I'm assuming this one here that's over Lac Saint-Jean has got their attention because there's now some purple in there. So we'll take a look at what warning was just updated here. And I don't know if it'll have anything other than, obviously we're still talking damaging wind, quarter-size hail, and heavy rain. So that, again, is all moving eastward. I will kind of play the loop here just so folks can understand how big this system is and what is going on right now. So, yeah, people commenting that, Connor should be on vacation. Anyways, our Toronto, hey Tom, how's it going? Good to see you in the stream as always. Appreciate you on here. Dominic saying bookend vortex forming on the northern edge of the line, which is yes what I was highlighting where we had that rotation. So definitely Definitely an area that you have to pay attention to. That's a very technical term, but they call them bookend vortexes because it's, how do I describe it? Drag your hand through water, and if you watch on the outer fingers, you'll see the water rotates. Those are kind of a simplistic way of explaining bookend vortexes. So you get that, rotation as this goes through the air because, again, the atmosphere is essentially a liquid. So you have fluid dynamics at work there. So Connor asking if I'll take him storm chasing. Yeah, that's basically where you and I started way back when, and now we're partnered up on this stuff. So amazing to see the progression, to be totally honest with you. And it's been a wild ride. So, but anytime you want to go storm chasing, I'll take you. Andrew Macklin saying Connor needed a short break from the lobster rolls. Yes, out east. So yeah, anybody that's just joining, Connor's out on the east end of the country. He's doing a vacation with Zoe, and they are having the East Coast experience. So I'm just going to take a look here. They just updated this again. I don't think there's anything new. It hasn't pushed any further. Maybe it did push out. I'm not sure if they. I think Saguenay was in it for quite some time. So, again, we're talking stronger winds and potential of some hail. So, a lot of radar noise up here, which what I'm referring to, this is a classic example of radar noise. All these different colored pixels in here that are in the shape of a beam, if you follow them, that's radar noise. Don't know what it takes to clean that up. I'm not a radar tech, but obviously we have quite a bit of it polluting on the velocity side of things, and it's always been a frustration of mine with Canadian radar. You don't tend to see that in the US with radar, but so again, I try, and here you can see it even on reflectivity, these straight lines that you see, that's not normal. That's not something that's out there in the environment. That's just a radar beam. So again, that would be radar noise getting picked up. So, and these, again, Lac Bouchette, this is about to come in heavy, heavy rain for you. No hail in it that I can see on radar. And then on the northeast end of Lac Saint-Jean, coming into Lebrec, where the 169 and 172 kind of Alma, that whole area there, definitely going to see a lot of rain, but so far it doesn't look like any severe hail or anything like that, but intense precipitation. So let's get back down here and look at the southern storms. And right now, I'm going to take a look at some velocities on this line as it moves through. And I'm getting a note here. Sorry, so I've got a few things here. Oh, Rick, thank you for sending that. I didn't even notice it. Talking about Cape, except I got to expand it. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out here what our values are. Well, that's storm relative helicity. Don't see the Cape on that. Oh, there, 1,000 maybe, a little over 1,000, 1,500 Cape maybe. I'm trying to figure this out because there's a lot of parameters on what he's showing me. So I apologize on the image that I'm looking at. So, anyways, what else have we got here? Some more power outages from Hydro Quebec. Showing in Rivière à Pierre, which is where that line went through earlier. So there are some power outages showing out there, which I'm not surprised as this storm moves through. So that was way back up here when the storm went through here. So we're now showing power outages as this storm moved through, obviously blowing stuff over and causing some damage. So just kind of looking at a lot of radar noise in here. The wind has subsided. The area that was really bright has gotten much smaller. It is isolated to this area right in here. So still windy back there. That's probably 70-kilometer-hour winds, maybe 80, but not as intense as it was. So 75, upper 60s. So a little bit of intensity dropping on that storm itself. So we'll continue to pay attention to everything here. And again, right now, the bulk of the heavier precipitation with the strong lightning coming into Saint Basile, Pont Rouge is next, and then kind of heading down towards the 40 and into, like I said, Quebec City. Headed there soon within the half an hour or so. So that's where things are tucked into. Right over Canadian Forces Base Valcartier. So another area to pay attention to. So what else have we got here? Um, I just clicking on a, sorry, my mods are sending me something, so I just was checking. Oh, 1,000 to 1,500 Cape. Thank you. Yeah, Rick, that's what I figured. I was trying to decipher all the lines you had on there, but I managed to kind of get it. But okay, perfect. What else have we got here? Um, yeah, Dominic saying looks like some damaging winds coming into Lac Beaufort, which is the storms to the north. So definitely something to pay attention to up here, I believe, is what we were talking about. Maybe I'm wrong, but no, that's Lac Bouchette. Where is Lac Beaufort? That may be down here. Lac Sergent. I don't see it, but we can definitely see on this image here. If I look at it, and I'll close that off, you can kind of see the arch to it, or the bowing effect that's happening with this storm as it's heading in this kind of direction. You can see how those winds are pushing out from this storm system. So again, mostly wind and heavy rain, but wind is the biggest component at this point that's of any severe portion of that. So looking back up here, few storms that are definitely picking up some intensity, but again, the ones I would be paying attention to here are kind of northwest of Alma, along the 169 highway, but no hail right there at this time. So, okay, let me jump back in here. Looks like some damaging winds. Okay, so Andrew saying Gabriel Shepard probably has a great view of the incoming storms. His dot is on the south shore, but I don't know where to find his socials. Oh, that's what Rick was sharing with Andrew in the chat. So now I've caught up a little bit. Squall watch on the St. Lawrence and the Saguenay. So I should turn those on. I will highlight that because I do have them turned on just so that things don't get cluttered. But let's go squall. Yeah, squall watch right there. And do we have squall warning? I'll turn those both on. So the map should change at this point. So they have them out. Obviously, Lac Saint Jean had a squall warning all the way along here. We've got from Saguenay down to the St. Lawrence. You've got a squall warning as well. Which is those darker, thicker purple lines. And then as the storms approach around Quebec City, the St. Lawrence, we do have a squall warning there. They are calling for, let me just take a look here, 45 knots, which would be probably 70 to 80 kilometer hour winds roughly in that neighborhood. So again, if you're on the water, you don't want to be on the water at this point. Definitely a dangerous place to be. And then we'll take a look to see if there's anything else up this way. Just looking to see what the line is currently doing right now. So, okay, so we've got everything isolated there, and I'm going to turn off the squalls, just pointing them out. But if you're on the water, definitely anywhere in the vicinity of these storms, you don't want to be. So let's turn this off. Squall there and there. Okay, just so it's a little more tidy on the screen. Okay, what else have we got here? Oh yeah, so Rick was saying that the squall watches are out, so thank you for giving me a heads up on that, Rick. Larry saying my home is here. Not sure where exactly. I'm assuming on the Quebec side somewhere, but hopefully we're giving you the information you need. Appreciate you tuning in. V-Baller Lefty from Canada area connected, liked, big screen on. Oh, nice pattern. Hello, all. Canada North, all clear and pretty warm. It definitely sucks. I know Canada was kind of getting close to that 30-degree mark, so. And how is it for my cousin in Trois-Rivières? They're just getting some rain. So, Trois-Rivières back to the south here. Yes, they're probably going to just get rain there. V-Baller Lefty, the very tail end of this line, where the strength in this line is kind of from St. Alban all the way up through Quebec City. And then all the way up to Bay St. Paul on the north side of the St. Lawrence. So that's where the really intense rain and winds are. And then obviously we do have these storms to the north, which some of them are picking up velocity to the left of 155. There's definitely some intensity. This coming into Lac Bouchette is picking up intensity as well. And then to the north and west of Alma is essentially the other, so right over Lebrec at this point. So a few lightning strikes associated with that, but heavy rain and some winds at this point. So I'm just going to take a look at velocities up there to the west. So these storms coming in from the west are the ones that are moving fairly quick. You can see those bright green almost into the light blues. That's when you know you've got some decent velocities back there. So again, the stuff to the north doesn't seem to have as much as well. So we'll continue to update you folks on those and go from there. Okay, what else? Anyone covering the Ruskin situation? I don't know anything about the Ruskin situation, so if somebody can update me. I mean, I've just been on the stream for the last hour and 10 minutes and then kind of prepping for that, so I don't know what's going on. If somebody can either kind of elaborate on that in the comments, I'll definitely do my best. If it's weather related, I can update you guys on it and find stuff out from there. So Chris O'Malley, good to see you in the chat as always. Thanks for tuning in. Lake Time, also good to see you here in the chat as well. So again, we're hanging out in the Quebec side of things today for the most part. That's where our severe component is. We do have some severe out west right now. Only one little storm in Alberta that is basically severe warned here. It has weakened a little bit since I've looked at it. I'm just looking from a further away radar, but maybe a little bit of hail on that. But again, it's somewhat looks like it's in no man's land. Obviously quite rural out there, but to the northeast of Canadian Forces Base Suffield. So that's the only thing that's severe warned out there, along with some storms here on the Saskatchewan side near La Flèche, but these are just thunderstorms at this point, nothing severe. However, there is stuff maybe coming from the U.S. side that might track up that way. And again, these storms are moving in a northerly pattern, which is not common on the Canadian side of things. We generally have, east to west type scenario, and mostly from west to east, I would say. But with the jet stream the way it's going today, it's kind of in a northerly pattern. So just watching weather all over right now as we cover this. But this is our biggest area of severe right now. And again, mostly just wind at this point with some heavy precipitation. So the truth saying I'm making a tuna on rye. That's can you send me a piece of that over here? I'd love to have some of that. Okay, what else is going on here? Lake Time saying it's been very windy in Clayton, just chimed in, and sure hope it's staying north, and it is. Down on the Ontario side, we don't have much to worry about. Again, Ottawa might see storms to the north, but I'm skeptical at this point. Most of it's going to be northeast of Ontario. If there was anything later on, it would be an extremely minor rain showers or that kind of thing. Just gonna message Mark because his stream for some reason has turned Well, it's cut out at this point, but it was kind of in a vertical, not a horizontal way. So that's weird that his stream isn't coming up on what's going on here. Huh. Interesting. I have some kind of technical glitch going on, or is it? I'll see if I can get Mark to flip his phone. Folks. Oh, there we go. He heard me, obviously. Perfect, Mark. Thank you very much for that. I know he's busy chasing, so why can't the video come up on this screen? What is going on? Okay. What am I missing here? Okay. I'm baffled here. I have it on the little screen, but I don't have it working on the other one. So I'm a little, not a concerned. I'm just wondering what's going on. I was working. You got to love technology. Works, and then suddenly it decides it doesn't want to work anymore. So let's lock this down. First of all, let's go back. Huh. Okay. Let me see if I can fix this, folks. Bear with me for a second. Turn it off. On. This is baffling. Okay. Let's try this. Sorry, folks. Bear with me. I'm just trying to fix this to see if I can get his stream to come back here. So, um, sometimes it just glitches out. Okay, there we go. That's what it took. I don't know why it took that, but we've got her back. So I've got his live stream back and running here. So again, bit of a technical glitch, but that's what happens. We roll with the punches, as they say. So they have just updated this warning coming into Quebec City and along the St. Lawrence. So obviously the heavy precipitation has moved through the area. Let's see if they've changed anything. Obviously, 5:56 p.m. Same thing. Environment Canada is tracking a line of storms capable of producing damaging wind gusts, quarter-size hail, and some heavy rain, which is what we have been reporting on. I'm just going to look at winds in here. Excuse me. So the winds look to be subsiding somewhat, which is good for locals. It's still up there. We do have some areas of 60 kilometers an hour, 70 kilometers an hour, but they have come down from that 90-kilometer-hour range, that kind of thing. So, yeah, Mark's video just keeps going sideways on me. I think I know how to fix it. Mark, I don't know if you can hear me, but if you hit force landscape whenever you pull over on one of the settings for the stream, it won't switch back and forth like this. So it's just a setting where you toggle force landscape. But I'll see if I can message you. But whenever it's safe for you to stop and do that, I mean, like whenever you're stopping. Anyways, okay, let's get back to this. So again, winds are still strong enough, but they're not as high as they were down here for this southern portion. And you can see that a lot of the red has disappeared out of the storm, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So if I back the storm up here, we get a very distinctive line of red and orange through the core of this storm system. But as it's moving more south and east, you're seeing that red is disappearing, and it's kind of getting wider. So those winds are spreading out, which hopefully means good things for people in line with this storm. But we'll see if that's the case. We'll continue to monitor it. So I'm going to move back up to these storms to the north. And heavy precipitation associated with some winds right over Lac Bouchette right now. And then we have this line here to the north, not a ton of lightning on it, but quite a bit of rain. So this here probably a bit of wind, heavy rain, but very tight line essentially. What's going on here? So not. I don't know if they're going to continue the severe warning on that. We'll see whether Environment Canada pushes that severe warning a little bit further east as this moves through. So I'll continue to monitor it and go from there. What else have we got here? Yannick saying, thank you for the Trois-Rivières update. You're welcome. What else is going on here? Lake Time saying, wow, 80 shy of 9,000 subscribers. Woohoo. Yes. So if you're new here, thank you for subscribing. And yes, we are trying to get our way to 9,000, and then 10,000 is kind of our target at this point. So again, if you're a new subscriber, thanks for jumping in. Welcome to the Canadian Weather Live family. I do speak French, just for those who are tuned in from Quebec. But when it comes to weather, I'm far more familiar with the English terms. So I don't want to misspeak. I can pronounce this, obviously, the towns and that kind of stuff. Eventually down the road, we would love to have somebody who can do the broadcast or the coverage in full French for, the heavier or deeper into Quebec, that kind of thing. So even into New Brunswick, those areas. So that is coming down the road. But for now, you're stuck with me. If you ask your questions in French, by the way, in the chat, I can read it no problem, and I can answer you as best as possible. So don't be shy if you speak French. Just type it in, and I will do my best to respond to you there as well. So let's take a quick look down here at the southern end of things and kind of see if things are changing. Our last scan was at 5:59, so we've got about 3 minutes ago. So this is the latest scan. I'm just going to back it out here. So it does look like this is broadening out and weakening somewhat. We definitely have a higher level of precipitation concentrated back here through this area as it's coming into close to the St. Lawrence Seaway. But lightning is mostly tucked into this area, which again, lightning is an indicator of where things are more severe or stronger. So just those are the areas to pay attention to at this point. So coming right into Quebec City, that's on the doorstep of Quebec City right now. And let's see what the winds look like on this latest scan. So still windy, but not as windy as it was before. Down by Saint-Henri, we've got, let's just take a look here, some 77-kilometer-hour winds. So still quite a bit of wind. If there's obviously, anything that can be blown over by these winds, could knock power out, that kind of stuff. So I don't see any areas of tight rotation right now. As well. So do notice a bit of an elevated area of wind here just to the northwest of Chateau Richer or L'Ange Gardien, straight north from there. So there's some stronger winds up there. But again, I'm not seeing any tight areas of rotation, which is really good, obviously, for the danger of any kind of rotating storms. So we'll continue to update those sections there. So what else have we got going on here? Okay, a lot of comments back and forth between people here. I'm just trying to catch up. Okay, I think I'm caught up, basically. Yeah, so that's just chat going back and forth. The other thing that's new for anybody that's jumped on recently, if you do want to get any of our information, the QR code at the very top will link you to all of our socials. So YouTube, all that kind of stuff, Facebook, so on and so forth. So it'll also link you to our merch store if you're looking for anything. So you can use that as a quick way of, pointing your phone at the screen, and you can get onto all that information. So I'm just going to see if I can get Mark's stream here. It's sideways Nothing to see right now. There we go. Nah, that just literally blipped. Oh, and now it's cut out. uh, you gotta love technology. It's great when it works, but obviously cell coverage is not the best where Mark is right now. So it's tough. But he's out in front of this. He's in Saint Stanislas. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that properly. Anybody who knows better can comment, but that's where he's sitting in front of this, and it's got a shelfy look to it, so that line in front of it that you see is, as the storm is pushing towards his direction, and below it and behind it is all that precipitation. So that gray in there is heavy, heavy rain. And Mark's just trying to stay ahead of it right now. I do see some mixing on that line, but what I call mixing, which is just rotation in several different directions like a blender. You'll see the clouds moving in all sorts of different directions, but there's nothing of any kind of, that I could see on the stream anyways, of any rotation that looks organized. What else? Okay, Joanne, good to see you. I know you're out of Quebec City, saying just rain and thunder in Quebec City for now. The heavier stuff is headed your way. So I'm just gonna here. That latest scan just jumped up, but the good news is it's looking like it's weakening as it's coming in. So to the northwest, between Lac Beauport, Wendake, I'm hopefully pronouncing that, L'Ancienne Lorette, to the west of Quebec, where you see that orange and red, that's where the heavier precipitation is. You can also see that the lightning is isolated mostly in that area. So to the west of Quebec City is where the intense stuff is. It will catch kind of the tail end of it will catch part of Quebec City, but it does look like it is bowing out or pushing out. Better word, gusting out would be a better way to put it. And that's, again, good for the danger component if we're talking anything rotating. So still, straight line winds can cause quite a bit of damage, but that's the story right there in the Quebec City area along the St. Lawrence Seaway. A lot of the red is disappearing, which is that heavier precipitation, which indicates storms are usually weakening. And obviously, where you see all this yellow, that's kind of moderate to down into the greens, which is on the lower end of the scale for precipitation. So we generally target areas of red, even into purple when they get really strong. So that's what brings our eyes to those areas when we're looking at radar analysis. So what else? Any other questions in here? So no, looks like I'm caught up on that as well. So again, we'll just translate up to the north here and see what's happening on our northern storms. So this storm is now, we were just talking about those purples and reds. We do have two areas here just to the southeast of Lac Bouchette, and I guarantee you it was raining cats and dogs there. And then, so that storm has moved on through Lac Bouchette and has now got a bit of a hail core in there, but it is somewhat in an isolated area. And then west of Highway 155, the core of this storm definitely could have some small hail on it as well. So those are the two areas that I'm noticing up here on the northern storms. And then this line here, doesn't look like hail in it, but obviously with those dark reds, bright reds, you're getting a ton of precipitation with this. So this line here, moving through, definitely heavy, heavy rain. But as you can see, it's not very wide, so it's not going to last very long. And I can kind of play the radar loop here over the last, this is about 3 hours. So you can see how those storms have developed and kind of what we call starting to line out here where they've joined hands, and now it's kind of moved southeast. So you can see that these were two separate clusters of storms over Lebrec and back to the west of Saint-Henri-de-Taillon. So you can see here over Lac Saint-Jean, and it kind of reaches out. They touch or hold hands, and then they're getting lined out essentially. And it turned a little bit south, it looks like. So when that line formed, it now kind of still moving eastward, but it looks like it's moving a little bit more south. So about to get into Saint-Ambroise, and then eventually on to Saguenay. And they have updated this warning to the south, so I'm going to take a quick look at that just to see what Environment Canada is updating. So this warning here, 6:09 p.m. Still talking about damaging wind, quarter-size hail, and heavy rain. No other update other than that. So as this moves through, again, I'm seeing signs of weakening on this at this point. I'm just going to see what Mark is seeing on his stream, but it just looks like he may be caught up under it. It's moving fairly quick, so it's hard to stay ahead of. But Mark is, he's in that St. Stanislas area. Again, it still looks like he's roughly in that area, and getting into the rain now. So it's probably precipitation's gonna pick up here on the windshield. It looks like he's just getting into that heavier precip, as he's probably trying to get ahead of this. Let's see. Turn down his audio. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to blast anybody's ears out here. But yeah, you can just hear those heavy raindrops on the windshield as he's going through there. So, and you can see they're now picking up. So he's punching through the precipitation core. We might lose the stream here just because cell service is going to struggle. But you can see how heavy that rain is in that storm itself. So if you're in line with these storms coming through, just heavy precipitation. Trees don't look to be moving a whole lot, so I'm not sure about the winds, but it's hard to tell. But he's just driving through that heavy precipitation. Kind of watch this just for a little bit as he punches through here. Okay. Yeah, just heavy rain, which is good. Again, I don't see anything too scary on that, obviously. But I think he's going to struggle to keep up with this line as it's moving south and east at this point. But we'll continue to pay attention to it. Down by Trois-Rivières, which is just in that severe watch. There are storms back to the north and west of that. However, they are not at this point of any severe component. You can kind of see this cluster spreading out on that last one, picking up a bit of intensity here over Saint-Alexis-des-Monts, and it's moving southeast, so it's going to come through Trois-Rivières if it does pick up some intensity. Right now, it's kind of middle of the road in terms of rain, so moderate with some orange and red spots, so that's getting towards the higher end of things. So let's just see. So they have extended the thunderstorm warning for these storms to the north. That's what that beep was. So we're going to look at that. So they've pushed the warning out to the north and east of Saguenay, Saint-Honoré. So this line does show some hail in it. Right here, I'm going to highlight that. So this is an intense precipitation core. Another pixel of purple in here. This definitely a lot of rain tucked in here. So some wind associated with this, but heavy precipitation with the possibility of some hail associated with these storms, but it would be very small at this point, just looking at that. So nothing of significance, just to the northwest of Saint-Charles-de-Bourget. So that's where that heavier core of precipitation is. Coming back to these storms here, definitely a intense rain thunderstorm tucked between the 155 and the 169 heading eastward. And then this one here, obviously a bit of heavy precipitation to the west of Highway 155. So you can see Mark is still coming through very heavy precipitation right now as he's making his way through there. But I don't see any intense, super intense winds or anything like that right now on his stream. Again, hard to judge with how much precip is coming down. But yeah, just he's punching through, and we'll see if we catch up with him when he gets to the other side of it. So you can also see one of the things actually I want to highlight where Mark was earlier. It was a lot warmer. We're showing 20 degrees Celsius where he's showing us St. Prosper, Quebec. So temperature when these storms move through, obviously with that rain cooled air, temperature drops, and we're talking 5 degrees Celsius or more depending on where we're looking at. So let's just come back to this, close that off. And so we'll kind of pay attention to this here. 6:11 p.m. Was our last scan, and we are currently 6:16, so a few minutes before the next scan, about 3-4 minutes. Anybody who's new, we get our updates from the Environment Canada for radars every probably 7 to 9 minutes on average. So that's how long it takes for the data to come out to us. I'm seeing a lot of this, what I'm going to call radar noise near Thetford Mines. I suspect these are wind turbines. I could be wrong. I mean, anybody who knows east of Victoriaville, kind of around Thetford Mines, that to me would indicate, like I said, wind turbines is my guess because it's very stationary. If I drag the slider back and forth, you can just see that whatever it is disrupting the radar. And I'm guessing those are wind turbines based on previous experience with them. So, okay, what else? Gayla, thank you for tuning in. I believe you're from Colorado, if I remember correctly. Thanks for jumping in. We did have an Aussie on the stream here, so we are definitely going international. Even though it's a smaller stream, it's awesome to see everybody in here. Andrew saying, take me storm chasing. I love helping people. Definitely a good feature to have in terms of or characteristic, I should say, is when we do go storm chasing, I have first aid gear in on my truck, and our storm chase is over if we come across anybody in need. So yeah, that's definitely a good thing. Gayla saying, yeah, I love the rain without flooding. Yes, definitely flooding is not a fun thing to go through. So luckily this year along the Ottawa River, it wasn't too bad. There was some flooding, unfortunately. So, but yeah. What else have we got going on here? Tornado Pro, Grayson, good to see you as always in the stream. Again, covering the Quebec side mostly, so we can see how this is tucked in around the Quebec City area. We are getting some more intense precipitation, but no real lightning associated with it. I want you guys to take note of that. That, again, no lightning tends to mean that the storms are losing intensity or aren't going to be intense enough to be super bad. So that's something to pay attention to. Our lightning has definitely dropped. I'm showing Quebec City because we've only got a few lightning strikes in there. And then this is the latest scan that just jumped out, and it's mostly moderate orange with a bit of red. Our two areas right now that we have the most precipitation, but again, no lightning associated with it, would be tucked into this area right here, kind of northeast of Trois-Rivières. And again, this is moving in a east-southeast kind of trajectory. So let me bring it up here so you can kind of see how that's come down from the northwest and it's moving to the southeast kind of corner. Picked up a little bit of intensity on the last scan, especially the storm just over Saint Narcisse. That now does have a lightning strike, so that is showing some intensification right now. So we'll watch that area to make sure that if it does get worse, obviously these two areas with the bright red are picking up some intensity. So we'll monitor those as they move out. You can see towards Quebec City and northeast from there, mostly yellows and oranges, not a ton of lightning. Anywhere to say that the least, I guess. I'm just looking to see if there's anything more on the Canadian side. These storms are getting close to obviously the U.S. or international border. They will, jump over the border there, but they don't look as intense as they were earlier. So again, I would say the portion up in here, just big old rainstorm with some thunder and lightning and a bit of wind. But the most intense portion right now would be tucked in kind of back here, down on the southern portion of these storms, which is the first line moving through the area. And then we have these storms to the north, and you can see that those are starting to pick up. There's hail pixels, those purple, are continuing to pick up, and that lightning is picking up as well. So these storms are intensifying. So kind of tracking easterly. And again, I will cycle that just so we can see here. I'll back it up. And you can kind of see as I move that forward. The lightning has picked up on that. So this is picking up, and it's heading for Saint-Honoré, Saint-Fulgence, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and moving eastward. So I suspect that the warning for this is going to get extended further out this way as the line moves through, if it continues to maintain that intensity, because it's short-lived, but it's definitely an intense thunderstorm as it's moving through. And again, it is going to have some stronger winds on it. So just keep that in mind when we're looking at this. So Mark looks to be getting out of it somewhat, but you've seen how long it's taken him to get ahead of this precipitation as he's trying to relocate. Definitely much lighter rain right now where he's at as he's trying to get out of this. Okay, let's come back to the main screen here. I'm going to look at the satellite imagery just to see if there's any indicators there for me. You can see kind of those lines. This Ottawa would be kind of center left in the screen, just to the left of center, and then Montreal, obviously where all the blue lines converge. That's going to be your Montreal area just on the Quebec side, and then obviously Quebec City where those lines diverge on the St. Lawrence Seaway. So you can see those tall clouds forming. Those are the storms up by Quebec City. That's where it's been more intense. Back to the west, you can see there's nothing evident in terms of really strong updrafts. So we can see the very top of the screen where you have that round lake in blue, that's Lac Saint-Jean, and you can see those updrafts going there. So those are the things that kind of jump out at me in regards to that. So I'm just going to mute Mark's stream there just while we're chatting. So again, those are the areas that we're paying attention to. And let's see whether we've got an update here on the radar. 6:17, so we should have an update on this. I'm really curious about this cluster here. It looks like they're reaching out for each other in terms of the two storms. So I'm really curious whether this intensifies or if it loses some of its strength. So I'll watch that. So and then what was I going to say? Tornado Pro saying today was a hot and humid day in Canada. Back in the Ottawa area, absolutely. I think here in Kempville we got 28 degrees, so definitely a warm one. But things cooling off, going down to closer to 20 degrees for most of the area. Tomorrow I think it'll be about 24, and then after that we're going to have about 3-4 days of 20, 21, somewhere averaging around that 20 mark. So curious to see what happens. And then Grayson, okay, so this is the latest update. So what's happened here, you can see in the last scan, I'll bring it up here. So we went from, I'm going to go from there to there. So a lot of red. And then this storm has grown in size. That's around St. Narcisse. A few more lightning bolts on it, but we now have a pretty obvious line of precipitation and intensity kind of in this area here. And again, moving in this general direction. So not the artist, that's for sure. That's not my calling in life. Anyways, moving in those general directions. So that is heading to go across the St. Lawrence River. This is to the northeast of Trois-Rivières. There are some storms back to the northwest. These are just regular rain showers with some heavy downpours, no lightning on those. So anybody watching from the Trois-Rivières area or surrounding area, you right now have just regular storms headed your way, nothing of major significance. And this stuff that has crossed the St. Lawrence has broken up quite a bit. So that is losing its kick on this southern portion of storms. Right now, it's basically working its way out to being nothing is truly isolated. So when you get storms that kind of get really broad or wide, that intensity drops. But as you get down here to the bottom left corner, things tighten up and they can get more intense. So Environment Canada just putting out updates on those warnings. So we're going to take a look at them. That's why they're flashing. They've extended this one here at the north side of things. So again, we're still talking damaging wind gusts, quarter silence hail, and heavy rain. This was updated just now, and I will move it to this radar. So this is again to the storms to the north of Saguenay. Still pretty intense. That cluster of bright red, heavy precipitation, and a lot of lightning. So again, I've been saying it, you can always tell what a storm is doing just based on lightning alone when we're talking severe storms. So those ones there definitely have some intensity and look to be maintaining right now. And then we have this line forming back to the southwest of that. A little bit of hail tucked in here on this storm right here with these purple indicators. That's going to be probably small hail in there. We're talking pea-sized hail, but it is still west of Highway 169 at this point. A little bit of lightning on it, but not a lot. So not sure if that's going to sustain or not, but let's get back down here and look at what's happening down here. So again, the part I'm watching with curiosity is obviously all this stuff that is kind of over the St. Lawrence and back to the west a little bit on our screen here. So we'll continue to monitor that area. Tornado Pro saying rotation on velocity on the storm near Saguenay. Okay, get me back up here. I'll double check that just to thank you for pointing that out. That's this storm that's up here. So let's take a look on velocity. So there is some broad rotation that we are seeing on this. I'm just going to move through the last few scans here. Just back it up. So very mild rotation, which again is normal on storms. So folks understand that thunderstorms always that are stronger will have what we call a rotating updraft. That is normal. But when you start to get that tightening down to a smaller area and the speeds picking up, obviously that's when we need to be concerned with it. Right now, anything I see on here is very broad, not very bright in terms of the colors, which obviously indicates not as high a speed of wind. So just to show you, we're talking 10, 12 kilometers an hour on one side and 40 kilometers on the other side. So there is again rotation, but this looks like it is more of the storm pushing out. Because the storm is moving in a southeast direction and those winds are 40 kilometers an hour on that side of it. But getting back in the storm, you're in 10 to 15 kilometers an hour. So again, nothing of major concern. This is normal, what you would see on radar. It's just an early indicator that people look at when they're monitoring storms that, hey, this area is turning, but so keep an eye on it, but more often than not, actually, I should say, it leads to nothing. So Not here to try and scare people. We actually try and teach people how to read radar and understand what's coming at them. So that's what our philosophy has been since we started the channel last June. So we're actually coming up close to our 1 year anniversary. Connor and I will have to do something for that. I'm not sure what we're gonna do, but if you guys have any ideas that follow the channel for a 1 year anniversary type thing, whether it's putting out a video or talking about certain things, let us know. We're always open ears on that. So Mark has gotten himself out of the rain, it looks like. He's moving again. Look at the length of the name. On the Quebec side, definitely some longer names there. Saint Geneviève de Batiscan. See, I'm struggling with it. Yeah, Batiscan. I don't. Obviously, I'm butchering that, but Saint Geneviève de Batiscan is my best interpretation on that. But if we switch it over, it's buried behind his nameplate on the little screen on the right there, where you can see him coming off the highway. So, anyways, we'll monitor where he's at. I'm gonna take a look where that actually is roughly, just so I can get an idea. And there we go. It's almost like my computer heard me. Okay, so he is northeast of Trois-Rivières, just to the north. Oh, he may have just gotten off the 40 there, so I kind of have a rough idea where he is, but obviously he's got ahead of the storm, still in the precip a little bit here. He's obviously going to looking at a specific area and looking at data. Chasers are always, Mark told me he was picking up JF, a friend of his, for storm chasing. So you've got somebody who's always looking at data, looking at radar, and they're talking back and forth to try and figure out what to do. So right now they're analyzing what their next play is with these storms. From a storm chasing perspective, these storms do look like they're weakening. There's not a ton of rotation on them. So that may come into play here, but he's basically in this bigger, heavier cluster of storms. I'm just looking at my map to get an idea. So he is somewhere down here around Champlain, would be my guess, just northeast of Trois-Rivières. So that's what he's staring at right now, is those storms. So but the lightning going down, there's a few strikes here. We have about 3 or 4 strikes. That's not a lot for a storm. When you do have those intense storms, you're going to have a lot more lightning strikes like what we have up here. So you can definitely see the difference in intensity. So you've got pile of lightning up here, heavier precipitation core to the north of Saguenay. Again, just or north of 172, I would suspect there's a bit of pea-sized hail in there, roughly in this area here, and again, moving eastward. So I'm going to look at some velocities on that. A bit of rotation, highlight an area in here. Whoops, this in here is a bit of rotation. Again, if it continues to tighten up, that's something we'll pay attention to. If the colors get brighter, we will pay attention to that as well. A lot of this over here, just so folks understand, I've talked about it a few times, that's radar noise. It's frustrating on Canadian radar. We get a lot of radar noise. And I don't know how that's eliminated. I'm, again, not a radar tech, but Canadian side, we definitely see quite a bit of radar noise that gets mixed into those velocity scans. So sometimes it makes our job a little bit harder, but we'll keep an eye on it and go from there. So and if there's anything that tightens up, we will definitely let you know, just like we did last week on London, Ontario. We were on those tornado warnings immediately, showing people where it was and where it was headed type thing. So curious about this storm down here. This one has my attention. Let's just switch down here. And I'm going to come back to this. Mark is moving again, so probably just trying to keep ahead of it. Unfortunately, when you have this big river running the St. Lawrence and you're on one side of it, there's very few places that you can cross. So storm chasing, one of the things you have to always pay attention to is whether there are rivers in your path. So not a ton of places to cross over. I see one here, obviously near Quebec City. I don't see anything else. Maybe a ferry right here at Portneuf. And then the next crossing looks to be all the way by Trois-Rivières. So you have to be selective as to what you're going to do and how you're going to move forward. So we're getting another beep here. So I don't know. That's not for these storms. That's going to be for these storms back in Alberta. So I can quickly take a look at that. They're updating this. So let me move to the local. Wow, that storm has just been parked there. This storm hasn't moved a whole lot. I'm just going to cycle the radar here. You can kind of see that is, what is that, 5 p.m. our time. So this is Eastern time zone. In the last hour and a half, that storm hasn't moved very far, but it has definitely picked up a hail core on it as it's heading towards this Highway 55 or 555. And 886. So that is definitely a signature of some stronger hail in there. I definitely would think we're, into grape size hail, maybe slightly bigger than that. But again, somewhat of a remote area. So that's good at least. And now we're getting another beep. So we'll take a look to see what's happening back here because I'm assuming they're updating things, and they are. So this is for the storms back on the Quebec side. So let's just take a look at it. 6:29 p.m. So this scan is still a little bit old, but let's see what they've updated, if they've updated anything. Damaging wind, quarter-size hail, and heavy rain. So yeah. And so I just got a message from Mark. This was my suspicion. He's calling his storm chase. Mark's from Montreal, so he's got a bit of a drive to get back to Montreal. But for the severe component of it, it does look like it's dying. The southern portion is definitely weakening. The only area here would be around the northeast portion of Trois-Rivières. So again, for our viewers that are not, that are in line with these storms, obviously that's a good thing. The severe component is coming down on these, which I always enjoy reporting on, just because that means that, it's not going to be as impactful to folks that are, in the way of these storms. To the north, though, we still do have quite a bit of intensity around the Lac Saint-Jean area. That line definitely over Saguenay is got some intensity to it, even possibly some hail. I'm just going to look here just to see. Again, minor rotation, but again, nothing to be concerned about at this point. Again, windy, rain, and maybe pea-sized hail for that storm that's to the north of Saguenay. I know when we were looking at this storm chase today, I was talking with Mark yesterday. We were looking, some of the models were indicating this line coming through, but ahead of it, it had some isolated storms. So basically you had a line of storms, and out in front you had this lone cell moving ahead. And what that does is, when a storm is on its own, it's not being interfered with. It has that environment all to itself, and it can actually intensify. And those are the storms that we kind of look for as storm chasers. You're trying to get to the one that's on its own, has good environment in front of it, and has the potential to put down severe weather in terms of whether it's a tornado, whether it's large hail, that kind of stuff. So, Mark, thank you very much. He's probably off right now, but I'm just going to message him and then thank him for giving us his live feed. Wish him all the best traveling back to Montreal. So again, so that's Mark. He was again doing his live stream. Obviously, these storms are over with for the most part to the south, and then we'll see how this cluster moves across the St. Lawrence. what it's going to do there. So let me just take a look. And I've got somebody at my front door. Yeah, I can't come to the front door right now. I am live streaming. So, anyways, not somebody I know, so it's all good. But again, we're going to monitor these storms. The one over Saguenay, the lightning is definitely still very consistent on it. Some decent winds on it, not high-end winds, but heavy precipitation with some hail potentially tucked in here where those purple pixels are happening. So that's to the north of Saguenay, Chicoutimi, Saint Fulgence. That's all in that area. So if you're anywhere there, you definitely need to pay attention to that storm as it's making its way through. And these are heading to the radar. So as the line approaches, it's going to be a little harder to see because our radar is that little green pill right here in the center. So as the storms get closer, the radar cannot see close to it because the beams go up. So I can show you, I'm going to tilt what we're looking at. So these are the radar beams as they go out. So you can see how where we've got the radar here in the center of the screen, they're going up on an angle. And we have different tilts that we can use in here. So I can change, right now we're at tilt 0 and I can go up. And when I change it, as I go up, the angle will get more steep. I mean, that's an exaggeration right there, but I wanted to give folks an idea of what it's looking at. So it's kind of a bowl effect. And so that's what I love about our software is we can actually tilt our software to show you guys what this radar is seeing and you know, how it's progressing, how far out. So if I take this, you can see that, that radar is on the right hand side, and you can see how that beam goes to the left and keeps rising. So it's reading higher and higher up into the storm. So just a cool feature we have in our software's ability to be able to provide you guys with information when we're looking at it, more for us to be able to assess things. So right now, this is going to be the severe hazard for the foreseeable future would be up here near Chicoutimi, and then Saguenay area, and then this line here is the other one. The stuff to the south is mostly dying off and spreading out, again, which is good for those in the path of this. So just going to take a quick look here. Not a ton of lightning on this line, but heavy precipitation. It is going to come in, and it will be short-lived, but it'll come into Trois-Rivières, and it's going to be heavy rain, 1 or 2 lightning strikes associated with this. So again, not intense in any way other than just heavy rain as it's coming through. But that's all it's going to be. I don't even think the winds are that elevated. This is closer to the radar, so there are some, let me see, I may have misspoke there. There are still some winds registering in here in the 70-kilometer-hour range along the river itself in those open areas. So some winds associated with this. I definitely misspoke a little bit there. So that's why I always double check, because you never know. But for now, it definitely looks like to be mostly heavy rain with some wind. And again, barely any lightning associated with it. It has moved out of the Quebec City area, moving south and east through that. Again, this yellow and green are on the bottom end of the scale. Orange is moving you up into that more moderate, but this is reducing as it's going further and further south. So I can kind of show you guys that, how intense that line was, bright red, and then it's kind of breaking apart, so spreading out. So the intensity is going down on that. So what else is going on here? So we are 6:43 p.m. Okay. They have extended the severe watch all the way down to the U.S. border. So just to the northeast of Lac Mégantic. I was actually there a couple years ago for the solar eclipse. Was that a year ago? I want to say it was a year ago. So I shot the solar eclipse on Lac Mégantic because that was totality. It's also unfortunately a tragic story in Lac Mégantic a number of years ago with a train derailing and coming into the center of town and killing a lot of people. So anybody who's familiar with that area knows the story behind that. Very sad. So I'm getting a comment here from Rick saying SPC put out a MD on that storm south of the St. Lawrence. Let me see if I can pull up my US warnings and just see if they've put anything up there. An MD is a mesoscale discussion for those that are not familiar with it, which is just basically a post as to whether they're going to do a severe watch on storms or anything like that. So I'm not going to drag the US side onto it, just not to complicate things. But obviously the meteorologist for the Storm Prediction Center, which is out of the US, is paying attention to these storms as they're coming over. I suspect they are going to weaken. So I don't think there's going to be a whole lot coming out of that. But that's my take at this point, just viewing what we're seeing here on radar. So a lot of this stuff is going to be dropped here shortly just for the severe component. I'm going to check if this one's been updated recently. That was at 6:35 p.m. So they're still saying, the severe component, but the severe component for this is southwest of Quebec City towards the radar where you're seeing all this. So that's the only area right now of any significance. And again, Lac Saint-Jean, Chicoutimi, Saguenay area, that's where the more intense stuff is right now. So we'll continue to monitor that as well. This scan at 6:41 p.m. is about 5 minutes ago. Definitely noticing that there's less purple involved and less red. So again, that could be a good thing. I am going to look at temperatures around these storms just to see whether they're feeding on good air or not. So right now it's registering at 14 degrees Celsius. That is not good air temperature for storms to sustain any kind of severity. So these are not heading into a better environment. Like for example, Rivière du Loup is 9 degrees Celsius. That will kill storms. They'll be just regular rain showers. So you can see how out in front of these storms, 26 degrees Celsius, 24. If we're looking even further south, Montreal, 28. Back behind the storms, we're down to 14, 19, and that was that cooling air effect, cooling rain effect. So you can see here, La Pocatière, 10 degrees Celsius. So those are just regular showers. They will not sustain in that kind of environment. So you always need those hot temperatures with some humidity to create these storms that do end up being severe. So with these temperatures of storms already going through the area, they tend to eat up the environment. So this line back here, I suspect over the next hour, as it's going to drift southeast, it's going to start dying off or weakening. So that's kind of this line here, and it's moving in roughly this general direction. So as it does, there's cold air out in front of it, and that's just not conducive to storms. So it breathes that in, and it kind of chokes the storm. That's a easy way of me basically describing that for you guys. So what else have we got here? So let me look at some more stuff here, but I suspect that the severe component of this is starting to come apart, which is great, and it's just going to be regular thunderstorms, that kind of thing. So let's take a look down here. I'm going to monitor this leading edge down here by Trois-Rivières, or kind of to the so there you go. This is our latest scan. Just regular rain in Trois-Rivières right now. Even this component here that was to the northeast of Trois-Rivières, I'll show you this last scan. You can see all the red on this cluster, and then it's starting to go yellow and orange. The red is disappearing. So again, we are seeing this dissipating. And it looks like the severe component, definitely for the southern portion of Quebec, is over essentially. Again, down here, I don't expect much of this to do anything. just the environment isn't good enough for it, and it's dying out. So I'm just going to take a look at our radar from Blainville. So it's kind of seeing the same thing. I'm going to look back here. I don't see any storms. I know we were talking about potential. Those are the storms north of Ottawa, kind of near Maniwaki. That is just rain. There's nothing. Those are just tiny little rain showers. So again, I think we may be heading towards the end of this severe portion to the south, and we're just going to be monitoring this up here to the south of Lac Saint Jean. Just to see whether that starts to come apart as well. So, Yannick Courteau says winds still reaching 70 kilometers an hour in Trois-Rivières, but no storm warning. So, so for severe warning, just so people understand, Environment Canada's threshold for severe is 90 kilometer an hour wind gusts. So 70 will not get you to a severe warning on storms. You need to have 90 kilometer an hour wind gusts for a severe warning to be put out, so people understand that. 50 millimeters of rain is another component within an hour, I believe is the case. And then it's 3 centimeter hail, 2 to 3 centimeter hail, I believe, is on the hail component for it to be severe. So just a little bit of a tidbit of information for you guys. Janice saying severe weather in Quebec heading towards New Hampshire. Yes, it is pushing out here. There is a bit of intense precipitation around St. Clair, but again, no lightning associated with it. Just heavy precipitation. So again, that's not something that's going to be severe warned on the New Hampshire side, unless we had some really big winds that came across. With this, then the Storm Prediction Center in the U.S. may put out a warning on it. But for the most part, we are, this portion is dying off essentially because it just has run into one condition or another that hasn't allowed it to keep its strength. So I'm backing up the cycle here. You can see that this is at 4 p.m. And you can see how that line has approached, how intense and tight it was. And then as it's been drifting into across the St. Lawrence, it's just completely gusting out and essentially just regular showers at this point. So 6:47 p.m., 4 minutes ago. So we'll see what the latest scan is there. And then I'm going to watch this one up here. So again, still intense up here. St. Fulgence just to the south of there. Heavy rain, but the lightning is not continuing on this. There is some lightning, but that is starting to drop as well. And then this is getting close to the radar, so it's a little harder to read because it's right over top of the radar here on 169. But we'll watch that to see if that maintains any intensity. But temperatures to the south are in the 14-degree range, which that won't sustain strong storms in any way. That's the main thing. And Janice saying we need the rain. Yes, definitely rain is good. And there's a lot of it that's moving through the area. So hopefully it's enough. Yeah. Rick just posting in the comments there what the mesoscale discussion from the National Weather Service or the Storm Prediction Center saying parts of northern Maine concerning severe potential watch is unlikely, which is what my take was on it as well. So, it's definitely not an area that, again, showing any intensification. I mean, just looking at this screen, if we're looking at colors, and I'll bring it up full screen, you can see those yellows, greens, little bit of orange. Where you look to the north over the Saguenay region, you can see bright reds and a lot of orange. So definitely more intense up there. But again, that looks to be dying off as well over the next few scans. So definitely one of those things that I'm seeing indicators that that's weakening as well. But we will continue with it for a bit. Definitely glad that most of the severe potential seems to be dying off at this point. Janice, thanks for the Canada coverage. Absolutely. If you like this, definitely hit that subscribe button and hit the like button. We provide coverage for Ontario and Quebec. Obviously, we are expanding to other areas, so we're going to try and cover as much as we can for Canada, and we are Canada centric. Obviously, I'm just going back here out to Alberta to see what this storm is doing. Anybody who's been watching, and it looks like it's dying off at this point. So the purple has gone away on this storm, but you can see Medicine Hat 35 degrees Celsius. There may be other storms that pop because they're 2 hours behind us. So it's only 5 p.m. there, so there's still a decent amount of potential. But you can see that cluster of hot air through the prairies into, low 30s into the mid 30s. So it's cooking out there. Saskatchewan obviously has some storms as well, but just thunderstorms at this point, nothing severe yet at this point. But our coverage concentration is over here. And just looking at this, we can see just the temperatures along where our storms are dying off or have gone through. You've got below 20 degrees Celsius, and you come back here to Ottawa, Pembroke, 27, 30 degrees in Maniwaki, Montreal hitting 28. So still very hot and cooking here, but no storms to speak of. Other than to the north of Ottawa, there's just showers. That is all that is. The last of the intensity is here by Three Rivers or Trois-Rivières, and that is coming apart as well very quickly in the last scan. This is our latest update. So if I back that out, you can see how red that was when it was over the St. Lawrence, and over the last two scans, all the red has disappeared essentially, and we're down to orange. So that is going to continue to weaken. And as it moves southeast is my suspicion. It's just all gusting out essentially at this point. So we won't spend a lot of time concentrating on that anymore. And we're just going to watch this line up here. And the same idea roughly is happening up here. It's still heavy precipitation with some lightning, but this is also weakening. And again, I'll show you how this unfolded over the last 2 to 3 hours. You can just see how that bright red is now starting to turn into a lot less red and more orange and more yellow as this progresses. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So, Gayla saying, I have to drop off. My rescue puppy needs to be taken out. You all be safe, and thanks for the coverage. Thank you for joining us, and awesome that you rescue dogs. Love it. I'm a huge animal lover, so thank you. Yeah, Gayla saying for the 1 year, maybe a merch t-shirt giveaway. Thanks much. That's a good idea. So we might do something like that. I'm making note of it right now as we speak. I'm just going to jot that down. 1 year shirt giveaway. Perfect. Okay. What else have we got here? Yeah, so I'm just going to monitor this area again on the screen here to the south. I think we're pretty much done with, so I'll leave this here. We'll take a look at a couple of scans. While we're waiting for the next update, I'm just going to grab a quick sandwich here. It's 7 p.m., so I'm going to try and get some food into me, and then we'll continue on with this just to see if there's anything as well. What I did want to point out before I do jump on that sandwich, we do run a Facebook page that is Canadian Weather Live, but we also have a page here for the community, and it's Canadian Weather Live Reports. And what that's for is if you have photos of storms, hail, winds, whatever it is, if it's weather related, you can post it in here. You do need to answer two very basic questions. If you don't answer the questions, you're not getting in the group. It keeps all the trolls and all the fake profiles and bots and all that kind of stuff out of there. So anyways, this is a great way of interacting, and you can do it whether we're on or not. There's I think 2,000 or 3,000 members in that page. So definitely something you can check out to report weather, and we monitor that page as well. So if anything gets put up there while these storms are going through the coverage area, we will share that as well. So Just another stray cat saying by midnight it'll hit me. Yikes. I don't know where you are. Just another stray cat. If you can give me some information on that, I can kind of give you what to expect. But right now, these storms are weakening across the board. They're still strong to the north, but they are showing signs of weakening. So even if it hits you at midnight, I don't think this is going to be anything of any severity. So what else have I got here? Just another, I'm in northern New Brunswick. Is that south angle going to come over me? So south New Brunswick. So yeah, so if you're down by Fredericton, that kind of stuff, this is tracking, and I'll play it for you so you can understand what's happening. We're getting far from the radar, but it is tracking. But as you see, when it's moving through in those last number of scans, the storm is widening, it's gusting out, which means it's weakening. So I don't expect this to be of any severe consequence when it gets to New Brunswick, whether you're in Fredericton or along the Trans-Canada there on Highway 2, any of that stuff, I don't think you're going to have anything of any significance. Let me see where there's a U.S. radar here, and the actual local radar in New Brunswick is down. That's what that red pill is. So I can't look at the Canadian radar, but this is a great view from a U.S. radar. And you can see these are just regular showers. All the lightning bolts are on the left-hand side, and they're starting to diminish. So I think just another stray cat. You're fine in New Brunswick. You're just going to have rain. You may get the odd lightning bolt, but even that I'm skeptical of. I think you're just going to see your regular rain at this point. So V-baller lefty, I've been eyeing that cap on the top shelf behind Tom. That's my I'm just going to bring that on the screen. That's I always point the wrong way. That's Team Dominator. That's Sean Chauffeur, who was the owner of Dominator 3 with Reed Timmer there. So he gave me a hat there. Sean's an awesome, amazing guy. So yeah, definitely cherish that thing. I've had, like I said, I've had a lot of storm chasing experiences over the last 10, 11 years or 12 years now. Yeah, lots of stories to go with that. But yeah, that's definitely one I like, and that's why it's up there basically. So, it's just another stray cat. No, I'm in northern New Brunswick near Edmonton. And so you've just got regular rain at this point in the Edmonton area with 17 degrees Celsius. Those are storms that are not going to sustain. They are just going to be showers. There's lightning to your west, but it's very minimal at best. So nothing to be concerned about. Hopefully that helps out, with your understanding of what's coming at you. So, Grayson saying it's taking forever for Eastern Ontario to see storms, and I agree. It's been such a quiet spring for Eastern Ontario, which I know there's a large portion of people that are happy about that. For us weather enthusiasts, we're chomping at the bit to see something, and we're struggling to see anything. So it's always that two-sided coin. So yeah, definitely one of those things that I would love to see storms. But right now, there's nothing in the near future for Eastern Ontario of any significance other than maybe the odd shower. So the severe portion for Eastern Ontario, we're looking into June at this point, just so people who are regular watchers of the channel, that's kind of where we're at. And yeah, just another stray cat saying it's already raining here, just small showers, and that's all it's going to be. You're going to have moderate to mild rain, in Edmonton. And I actually stayed in Edmonton when we did our storm chase. Hurricane Fiona a few years back, Connor and I drove through, and we actually stayed there overnight. So anyways, another warning update here, but I think that's going to be for out west. Yeah. That's this storm up here. Again, we're kind of bouncing back and forth. This is in Alberta. I think that they've killed this severe warning that's in Alberta. That storm was dying. I mentioned that earlier. So you can see that storm has completely weakened, and it's just orange and yellow, which is a weak storm at this point. So we'll see if anything else happens out that way. But at this point, most of everything is dying off, and I'm talking about here over Quebec, not Alberta. There's still some chances out that way, but we'll have to see how that progresses. So I'm just going to look at this line up here. Again, what time is the scan? 6:59. We are 7:04, and I said I was getting a sandwich, and I keep doing this. So let me grab my sandwich. I'll be right back. It's handy. I moved my little fridge up into my office here, so when I'm doing these live streams, I don't have to go very far down to the kitchen and take a long break, so I can kind of stay through it and keep up with the broadcast. Just going to shorten the loop here for the radar just so it doesn't show. Um, it's only showing about an hour and a half here rather than going back 3 hours. So there's this warning here down south. Yeah, so this is expiring. They've killed off. So the severe warning south of Quebec City, south of St. Lawrence Seaway, all the weather down there, severe warnings have dropped. So again, that's indicative of everything dying. So again, the severe portion of this, the only thing that's left is up here, coming towards the St. Lawrence River, cross from Rivière du Loup and all that kind of area. And they're moving fairly quick, as you can see, but they are weakening. So um, oh, just another stray cat saying a couple of years ago we had a red cone of tornado warning coming right at me. I had a birch tree look like a palm tree, so I drove away and saw the storm go down from up the hill. Tree fell, but thankfully no casualties. And yes, that's always the concern is those straight line winds. Um, they can do as much damage and be as dangerous. I mean, we had a casualty here in Ontario last week. Somebody in a park and straight line winds came in and blew a tree over right on top of them, and unfortunately they passed away. So you don't need a tornado just to have bad storms, and that's the thing that we try and let people know what's coming at them. Usually it's short lived, so you take shelter for half an hour, and then it's over with. And that's the case as it's been today. These storms are moving very quickly. So Rick saying, I'm about done with being jealous of all the American chasers. I'm definitely jealous of what they get to see down there because traditionally I've gone to the US Tornado Alley to chase storms. However, I will say that what we call chaser convergence, the amount of chasers that are out chasing right now, it's dangerous. I almost wouldn't want to chase for the sheer fact that there's so many chasers out there. You can be in the middle of nowhere on a dirt road and there's hundreds, and it's not an exaggeration, of vehicles driving around and some of them acting like complete buffoons. I watched Skip Talbot, who's a great US chaser, posted a video, and you could just tell in his voice like they were not happy about how condensed it's gotten in terms of chasers. And obviously everybody contributes to that chaser convergence, but it's gotten out of control, and I don't know what they're going to do because it's honestly dangerous. So this is good news. This latest scan, I'm seeing that the severity is falling apart. You can see how this whole line is kind of breaking apart. Obviously, the leading edge is still very bright orange, but you can see all of this, how spread out this has gotten, where you've got mostly orange and yellow and green, And the same idea up here, same thing, it's breaking apart. So again, good news that this is the case, and it's right over the top of the radar, but I can see the severe component on this falling apart in the next 15 to 20 minutes maximum. And again, with those colder temperatures out in front of it, these are just going to be regular showers with maybe a lightning bolt, but that's about it. So our severe component for today is definitely coming to an end. And I appreciate everybody being here. We'll continue to monitor it right now. But I don't suspect the stream is going to go for much longer. The only way this will go longer is if something happens out west, and I'll, cover that stuff out west. But right now, I looked at models. I didn't think there was a huge chance for any kind of higher end severe stuff out west. So I'm not holding my breath in that regards. However, if something does happen, I'll just transfer over to covering Alberta and we'll stay on. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I honestly wish I could teleport this easily to storms in real life because it would make chasing a lot more efficient. Uh, oh, Rick's posting in our moderator chat or our Canadian Weather Live group chat photos from Texas. And it just, there's some beautiful storms down there. And I don't need, tornadoes. I love structure almost as much as I do tornadoes. I mean, tornadoes are exciting when they're not, doing major damage. But I can show you. Actually, I shouldn't share that. I know Corey Gherkin. So what we have to be careful with when we share on the live stream is that we're not sharing other people's work, because a lot of chasers spend a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of gas to get to these storms and take their pictures, and then we share it without their permission. Obviously, I've had that happen to me as a storm chaser, people just using my footage and not paying me for it or anything like that. And there's a lot of hard work that goes into it. So I was going to share the photo, but obviously my more reasonable side kicked in terms of, I don't want to share stuff that, I don't have permission to do. So, okay, let's get back here. Let's take a look at this scan. I'm waiting for it's 7:05, so 6 minutes ago. So we should have the next scan here from the radar in about a minute or two. Got a question here. David Osborne. Hey, Tom, is Angus going to get hit? No, there's no storms down that way. This is all on the Quebec side. And we've been doing the coverage here. North of Quebec City right now is where we're watching in the Saguenay region or Chicoutimi. But this is dying off as well. So it's pretty much over with. There's nothing on the Ontario side of any significance for storms. So you're good, David, down there. Again, nothing going to happen there. We're just watching this here and definitely got signs of this dying off. I'm pretty sure Environment Canada is going to cancel this severe warning very shortly. And after that, there's nothing left on the Quebec side that's going to be of any significance here involving. There are some storms way north here. And I'm just going to look to see where our most northern radar is, and we're looking at it. There's not much coverage up there. Environment Canada has a few more radars than we do, but these are just rain showers. You can see, Baie-Comeau, 7 degrees Celsius, Sept-Îles, 6 degrees Celsius. So very cold. That does not conducive in any way for storms to survive in. So, and we're seeing it with temperatures of 14 degrees. So Storms below 20 degrees Celsius tend to be dying off or less than severe, essentially, is the best way to describe it. So, um, yeah, that's what's currently happening at this point. It's amazing the temperature you can see right in the middle of, US and prairies, how, you're in the 30s here, warm air out that way. And then back here in Quebec, we're double digits, barely into the double digits in some spots. Significant contrast. So I just saw that they reduced this warning. They haven't killed it off yet, but they shrunk it back. Um, so the portion back to the west or northwest of Saguenay or Chicoutimi, they cut that out of it. So they are starting to shrink this warning down. And again, I suspect they're going to drop it very soon. There's no way that these storms sustain in any way. So I'm basically reporting on rain showers at this point, which is fine. Um, but most people can look out their window and see if it's raining. So again, I appreciate everybody being on the stream today. It was definitely a smaller stream, shorter one. I mean, we're only 2.5 hours into this one. I've had streams 8 hours long. So smaller event, but definitely was worth getting the information out to folks and letting them know what's coming to them. So again, whoever's been here, I thank you very much. Again, my moderators, I appreciate everything you guys do as well. So and Rick contributing always as well. So and Mark, I know he's driving home, so he's not on here, but I appreciate Mark sharing his live stream. We do have when we do get some Eastern Ontario storms, obviously when Connor's back, he'll be streaming, but we also have Andrew out of Ottawa as well is going to be streaming for us when he can. So we have several streamers that are going to be there, and we do have our weather cameras that we are deploying here in Eastern Ontario. I can kind of talk about that briefly here just to show folks if anybody's interested. So we'll do this. So all these white circles are cameras that we have deployed throughout Eastern Ontario. We've only started that in the last couple of months. We have about 21 of them active currently, all the way from Pembroke down along the river through south of Ottawa, around the Ottawa area. And east, we're going to have a camera in Montreal that's getting put in. One here down by Prescott or Johnstown, another one going in this week. I have one in North Bay going in, so we're constantly adding cameras. These can be hosted by either business or by individual residences, that kind of thing. So I'll just put up here, this is information on if you're interested in hosting a weather camera. Not all sites work, and we're looking to do this across Canada. Obviously, we're growing it out of here. I do the camera installations myself. We provide all the gear, and all you're doing is providing an outlet for power and the Wi-Fi for internet so that we can patch into the camera. And then we have a view of what's happening when storms are coming through. So just something I wanted to share with everybody. Actually, I can show you some of the cameras here right now, and I suspect that that's a warning that's been dropped. I'll get to that in a second. Just going to share this. I'm just logging into our camera server. So let's go with, I'm just going to do this one here. I'll bring it up and I'll share it with you guys just so you can see what we're doing with these weather cameras. It just takes a second to log in here. Maybe this camera's down. It says it's online. Oh, there we go. So this is a camera that we have over by lakefront. So I'm just going to show that to you. So this is a camera looking west, and we have a great view of the sky. So as storms approach, we can report and tell you guys what's happening. So this is just an example of a weather camera. Wanted to share that with you guys. So we are deploying, we're going to be deploying, obviously it's our own private network, and we are going to have the biggest one across Canada, hopefully. So that's the game plan anyways, but we'll see whether we can get that deployed and go from there. But yes, we're attempting right now to do that. And again, we've only been at it 2 months, so we already have a bunch of cameras in, a bunch more going in, and obviously budgets are a little bit limiting, but if you want to contribute to that by hosting one of the camera sites, please reach out to us by email, or you can reach us out on Facebook, that kind of thing. So let me get back to what we were doing, which is that storm coverage. I'm just going to take a look at this to see if we have a new scan here, 717. So heavy rain, lightning has almost completely disappeared on this kind of southwest portion of the line. And then the only lightning left up here is kind of to the north of Petit Saguenay or Sacré-Cœur to the northwest. So that is coming, but it is just rain at this point with a bit of wind associated with it. Nothing of major severity at this point in terms of precipitation. Let's take a look at some winds just to see. The winds in there are not bad either. Again, nothing of major significance at this point. Fairly remote area too as well, so not a lot of population there. Um, just another stray cat. I had to grab a sandwich too. Yeah, it's definitely dinner time, especially out your way. Oh, awesome. I had just subscribed because nobody gets us the weather here anymore. And I'm glad to hear that. We are just growing at this point. So we've started in the last year, not even a year at this point. As I mentioned earlier, Connor and myself run the channel. Connor's on vacation, but we're storm chasers or storm enthusiasts for the last, well, since 2014. So 12 years at this point. And we love weather, and I'm really enjoying having this kind of weather community that we've been building and letting people know what's going on. So Tornado Pro asking, when do you think Eastern Ontario will see a severe thunderstorm event? Unfortunately, we're looking at past the first week of June at this point, maybe second or third week, but again, that's far out, so we still don't know if that's even realistic. But it's sad to say that we're looking middle June at this point, which, yeah, that's a struggle to say the least for those of us who enjoy weather. So, Grayson, unfortunately, I don't have good news for you. It's going to be a while. Our Toronto, good to see you in the chat as always. I would watch, Tom, I would watch you reporting sunny weather. Great work, man, always. I really appreciate that. Thank you. That's what drives me. Especially when we had those tornado warnings in London, when I got feedback after the fact that people told me they got warned. We told them 10 minutes before they got any kind of warning about, the severity of what was going on. 10 minutes in severe weather is a lifetime. So that's the stuff that drives me, and it's what keeps me going. Again, if I was had no viewers on here, 0 viewers, I'd be wondering what I'm doing. But generally, we do have a lot of people that watch it, and especially when those big events come in. So luckily, no deaths reported, I believe, with the tornadoes in southern Ontario and to the north of Toronto around Halliburton on the Tuesday. So that's good, but definitely a lot of damage happened. So. Okay, perfect. And now I'd love to hear more about that cap. Well, I might even have a second one around here somewhere now that I think about it. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Sean, and I've hung out storm chasing with Sean Show for many, many, many times, and he's from Saskatchewan actually. So the Dominator, that's why you always saw the Dominator with a green Saskatchewan Riders football plate on the back of it, because Sean is from Saskatchewan. So like I said, awesome guy, great great guy to hang out with, and had a lot of fun, chasing with them and hanging out. So, um, Grayson asking, I'll be in Canada providing reports during storm events on Canadian Weather Live reports and the streams, and that's awesome. We really appreciate it. When we do these streams, people reporting in, that's the ground truth. We can only tell you what we see on radar, which isn't always accurate because it's above the ground. So we always love getting that information from people who are seeing it firsthand. It helps me to get the information out to people as quickly and accurately as possible. Okay, what else? Rick, yeah, mid to end of June. Yes, yeah. Unfortunately, it's a long ways off for us, anyways. Well, I mean, we're at the end of May right now. I'm hoping it's a different story in 2 weeks. Let's put it that way. Rick saying a CWL cap would look better than a Dom one, and you're right. So actually, that's one of the things we're working on is seeing whether we can get some ball caps done up. I'm looking for somebody local to do it, and we would have to do like a made to order, not made to order, but a pre-order, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But definitely ball caps. I would obviously wear a ball cap. I wear them fairly often. So I'm just zooming in here. These storms moving over the Réserve phonique des Laurentides, just along the 169, 175 corridor there. I'm just going to see if the wind is spinning there in any way. What else? Oh, wow. Thank you. Just another, just another stray cat. Appreciate that. Love seeing the fireworks on the stream there whenever anybody donates. That goes a long way towards our weather cam project. So thank you. Thank you so much, Connor, and I appreciate it. Just sub. Thanks for covering my area. We get American weather, which pretty much ignores Canadian side. Yeah, 100%. So glad you subbed, and we hopefully you'll be here for the long term. So I was just looking to see at the end of this line of storms whether there was any rotation there. There's nothing of any significance. So again, this is all dying off. We have literally one, I think, lightning bolt at this point down here. Another one midway, and then all the lightning is kind of isolated to a few bolts up here. So again, we're kind of tapering off here where things are dying. Temperatures have dropped, and we're getting closer, excuse me, to sunset. So when the sun goes down, storms even lose more strength. So regardless of what temperatures are in front of it, when that sun goes down, it does reduce that severity. So yeah, definitely one of those things. V-Baller Lefty saying, I'll buy a few CWL caps. So, okay, that's good to know because, I mean, we obviously want to get what people want and, you know, it helps us. We make a dollar or two off a cap. It all goes towards, supporting the platform. So I'm going to put a note here and see if I can find somebody locally to make up some caps and then go from there. So obviously we're a small outfit, so we don't, we're not going to buy 500 of them to sit on them, but we definitely would work with people to see if there's a pre-order that, we have X number of caps that are committed to, and we take it from there. So thanks for letting me know that as well. So what else? I had to update my password. I hate passwords. Yes, there's so many passwords out there for every different site that we have. I hear you on that one. Too many passwords. Lanark County Scanner. I see enough Blue Moose billboards. Mark needs to add CWL. So Mark, again, anybody who's just joining in, he was live streaming for us, but he is the designer, one of the designers behind Outbreak, storm chasing video game, and I highly recommend it if you've got a good PC and you're a weather enthusiast. Outbreak is a phenomenal game to play. We actually play weekly. Wednesday nights, a bunch of us go and we storm chase virtually in Outbreak. It's my only form of storm chasing right now, but it helps because it's somewhat realistic. It's Mark is trying to make it as realistic as possible. So what Rick is referring to is I sponsored that game when they developed it originally, and part of that was I could put anything on the billboards as you drive around the highways, and one of them is of my storm chasing truck. So I'll have a chat with Mark and we'll see if we can collab on a Canadian Weather Live one. So anyways, oh, Okay, yes. So just another stray cat. No, Connor Croft. He's a good chaser in the U.S. But no, this is Connor Mockett out of Eastern Ontario. So that's where we're based out of, is Eastern Ontario. But Connor and myself, we're storm chasers. So he has a big following on Facebook, so Connor Mockett, but he does most of his forecasting is for Eastern Ontario, but our live coverage is outside of that region as well. So that's who I'm teamed up with. Yeah, so that's absolutely Soleil du Nord, obviously Son of the North for the English translation. Go to the channel for weather information. Merci. Thank you for being in here. I know you've been on a few streams, so appreciate that very much as well. And then Grayson saying, I want to get Outbreak, and I highly recommend it, Grayson. The problem is you're not going to leave your computer. That's going to be the problem. Your mom's going to have to peel you away from it. So, yeah, Rick saying it's realistic in quotation marks. Yes, you definitely do a lot of off-roading, but that's because it's a video game and not because it's real life. Because I wouldn't off-road in somebody's place in Texas. You might never, may never be found again. So, what else? Does the game explain how to read radar and all? I mean, I know the basics, but I'd probably virtually die if I were to play now. No, it actually does. There's a little tutorial you can do. And there's plenty of videos on YouTube. So there's a lot of people that play it on YouTube that kind of show you how to do it. Listen, it's fun. We all die. Connor's actually, we were laughing about it last Wednesday when we were chasing. Connor usually dies on the first chase because he's just trying to cut it too close with the tornado. So it's a tradition that Connor dies on the first chase. We all die. It's all part of it. But I think it's very good at, when you play it, you'll understand what produces a tornado, what doesn't, what does it look like, and you're looking at radar like this. So if you've watched the stream, you'll have a bit of an understanding on what the game is about. So I highly recommend it. You can't go wrong. It's an awesome game. So yeah, definitely fun. Rick saying I've died many times. Yeah, listen, I've died easily 100 times in that game because, again, we're trying to do things I would never do in real life, storm chasing, but you're in a video game, so why not give it a try? So yeah, so it's fun. Death and taxes, am I right? Yes, absolutely. Okay, let's get back. We've kind of wandered. So this is dying out right now. This severe warning is going to get dropped here shortly. I'm just going to look to the south here, just see where things are there. This is all just rain showers, nothing of any significance. This is just a pocket of heavier rain, and you've got a bit of a Boeing effect here as it comes to the U.S. border. Again, this is just mostly heavy rain for the most part down south. And then there's a bit of heavier rain up here on the northern storms, but again, intensity is dying at this point. So I'll watch it for a couple more scans, but then probably at that point, I will pull the stream. I'm just going to go look at what's going on out west. Let's take a look at the local radars out there. Nothing of any significance, but that storm that's drifted north of the Canadian Forces Base, Suffield, is got some hail on it again. But again, it's a tiny, I call these tiny little beans. They're just tiny little storms, but they can dump some significant hail, which this looks like it's got a decent amount of hail on it. And just for reference, the pink on here is stretching 5 kilometers, just so that you see there's only 30 pixels, let's say. That's 5 kilometer swath wide of hail, possibly. So it's still impactful. It just doesn't look that way on radar when you're looking at it from this kind of, elevation, I would say. And then Saskatchewan, I'm just going to look there just to see. Some of those storms have some hail near La Flèche, but not a ton. Still hasn't been severe warned. Let me just take a quick look here. Where's our closest radar is near Regina. Is there? Oh, there's one on the U.S. side. So let's take a look at it. Not as It's further away, but yeah, definitely some hail here near La Flèche on the Saskatchewan side. Very warm, low 30s out that way as well. So she's cooking out there. And we'll come back to Quebec and we'll just look at this. And that'll be probably the end of it soon. So, what else is here? There should be CW gaming streams for Outbreak. So, we've streamed a few times. Jordan, actually, who's Storm Chaser Jordan Carruthers out of Manitoba, he's live streamed to his YouTube channel, and we'll usually get 4 or 5 of us in a chase that you can chase the whole setup together. So it's a lot of fun because you can chase with people and you can talk in the game and everything. So again, I highly recommend it. It's addictive. Uh, Rick saying the radar knowledge definitely translates to real life. So yeah, it will help. And Rick has just started playing Outbreak recently in the last couple of months. So it's helping him learn radar as much as he's watching our streams, and we talk about it all the time. It definitely translates back and forth because Mark, again, being a storm chaser, is trying to make it as realistic as possible. And Mark has a really good, a phenomenal understanding of radar, weather models, all that kind of stuff. So, Ryan Benson asking, do you think the Northeastern have bad storms this summer? Northeastern have the summer. Well, Northeastern, I just don't know Northeastern where. If you're talking Northeastern Canada, there's definitely potential for storms, but again, it's been cooler out here. I think the prairies are going to have storms far sooner. Obviously, with those warmer temps that we're seeing, we have a ridging effect happening right now. I mean, I can show you in layman's terms what's kind of going on. We have a jet stream that's kind of taken off like this, gone north, and then comes back down. I mean, that's very rudimentary, so please don't take that verbatim, but you can see where that warm air is pushing up into Canada from the US, which comes from the Gulf of Mexico, which has also some moisture in it. But northeastern Canada, I don't think it's going to be a lot of stuff there, to be honest with you. So, um, so just another stray cat. I told my sister about your channel. She just said she was hoping for the thunderstorm. It's very warm here right now, and you may get the odd lightning bolt. You can still see there's a few of them just kind of to the southwest of Edmundston right now, but there's not a lot. Let's put it that way. So it's mostly just rain, and again, it's those cooler temperatures that are there below 20 degrees Celsius. So not looking too promising for thunderstorms at this point. And even up here, there's 1 or 2 bolts as well. So thank you for sharing the word about the channel. Much appreciate that. Goes a long way towards helping us out. And yes, so what's the temps going to be like east? So they are cooling off. I mean, you can see here, I mean, I'm going to zoom out. For New Brunswick, we're in, double digits on the very western portion of New Brunswick, but then you're getting into single digits out by Prince Edward Island, Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. It's still in the double digits, but that's going to cool off overnight. So definitely colder, not what you're seeing in terms of the warmth here right now. So I haven't done a forecast for the area, so I can't speak long term for you in any way. I don't want to misspeak, but this looks like I'm just looking at our latest scan here, and this is totally washing out at this point. So yeah, we're getting to the end of this at this point. See if I can finish my sandwich here. Welcome back, Melissa. Back from your parenting duties, which obviously takes priority. So hopefully the kids are good. We're Melissa, we're probably coming to the end here. Just so you know, I'm going to watch this for one more scan probably, and at that point, I will end the stream more than likely because everything is essentially dying off. Even out west in Alberta and Saskatchewan, the severity isn't there. So I would have covered that, but at this point, I don't know that it makes sense. I'm just going to look here. There's a little bit of a line forming right here. Oh, wow. Thank you for that donation once again. I so appreciate that. That's phenomenal. We'll buy a weather camera and put it up, and thank you. Definitely much appreciated. Sorry, I was looking here. Oh, yes, I wanted to look at this and just see what has happened here, this line that's forming behind. So there's a small line forming Saint Tit. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. You can see this line forming, and it's picking up a bit of steam in terms of precipitation. No lightning on it, but that's what I'm noticing. You can kind of see it stretching back here. And there were some storms on models that were going to stretch back further to the west, but still traveling in that southeast component. And I still see that as being the case later today, but I don't expect anything to be severe. So, yeah, definitely one of those things that I just noticed on radar here as I was looking, but wanted to double check that it wasn't going to be anything of any significance. So I suspect Environment Canada is going to drop this severe warning up here very soon. Well, we will do our best to help report. So we love both sides of the coin. Obviously, those that have anxiety with storms, we like to inform them so that they know they don't have to be anxious at what's coming at them. We kind of give them an idea of what's headed their way. Those who are storm enthusiasts, we love sharing the information with them as well. Again, always two sides to the coin, as they say. Wow. V-Baller Lefty. Yeah, I can definitely, if you want to send me an email, I'm marking it down here, but I'll have to obviously get in touch with you. If you can fire me an email at canadianweatherlive@gmail.com or reach out on our Facebook, send me a message, and I'll make sure that I have your information. And then when we compile this all, I can definitely get in touch with you and we can go from there. So that beep that you heard is just an updated warning. So there's one all the way here in BC. So Cranbrook, holy cow, getting in on the game here. So let's see what they've got. That radar is far away from them. Let's see what radars I have out here. I'm just checking because obviously I got the beep, but I'm just going to see. Hard to tell. It's in the mountains, it's very hard to tell what is going on. I'm impressed that this has got a warning, but let me take a look here. And we do have people from BC sometimes watching. Obviously, today it's a smaller audience, but they're saying they're tracking severe thunderstorms can be capable of producing wind gusts, damaging wind gusts up to quarter-size hail and heavy rain. Same idea as what was happening out this way, but obviously around the Cranbrook area, still 25 degrees Celsius. Quite a bit of lightning on this, but obviously this is in the mountains or on the edge. No, that's in the mountains. Just something that popped up I wanted to highlight before we cut the stream here, and just going to zoom back to Quebec and take a look at our latest scan here. So, but yes, V-Baller Lefty, if you send me that email, I'll definitely organize to get that and go from there. So, what else? Prayers for Ontario to Saskatchewan because the new tornado alley seems to be headed that way. There's definitely more instances. Tornado alley is kind of shifting eastward. Sorry, excuse me. Especially in the U.S., it's still my favorite province to chase is Saskatchewan, but it is definitely shifting eastward. We're definitely seeing a little more here in Ontario later in the summer, that type of thing. So definitely a shift to it, but it's not super dramatic. So this, I'm just looking here on this portion of the storm. Sorry, let me get that out of the way there. This is the last kind of hurrah for this line of storms as this is pushing out. As it's getting away from the radar, that's where our heavier precipitation is going to be, along with the winds. They're not too bad though, based on velocity here. So the winds right now, somewhere in the 40 to 50 km/h range. That is off the ground, so you got to keep that in mind. But for the most part, that's all that's going on there. And I'm just seeing they're just updating this warning back here in British Columbia. So it's great with this software is I can watch all of the country. I get a beep and I know I need to look at the map to see what's going on. So they've updated that warning for Cranbrook, line of severe storms located near the U.S.-Canada border, Highway 93, moving at 30 kilometers an hour northwest. And it's just saying Grasmere and Elko are the areas that will be impacted out here. And I'm looking at the wrong thing, but yeah, anybody out that way, you've got storms, but they don't look anything too bad at this point. Even though they are severe warned, it's not doesn't look like it is over here. But I don't. So I haven't read radar in the mountains, and that definitely would be impacted by things. So take that with a grain of salt, I guess, because mountains will impact what the radar can read and what the radar can see. So. Okay, so yeah, that's about it. Oh my God. It's the second time I've done that tonight. I don't know what I'm doing. Must be a button on my mouse. So this is picking up some intensity here to the northeast of Trois-Rivières. So Saint Albert, Saint Casimir, those areas are about to get impacted by heavy rain. There may be a little bit, I see 1 pixel of, or 2 pixels of purple in here. There may be a little bit of hail, but this is a very narrow, very small storm. And it is moving again southeast. So you can see how it's kind of expanded out here over the last number of scans. So we'll see as it approaches the river. But again, the environment in front of it, 18 degrees is borderline in terms of sustaining, but we'll keep an eye on that. But again, I one lightning bolt, so it's not going to be anything too bad. Surprised to hear east. That's sort of scary. Heartland, New Brunswick is a little tornado alley. I've seen damage before. Yeah, it's if you're talking tornado alley in the U.S., it's definitely drifting eastward. Even up in Canada a little bit, but more in the U.S. than anything. So that's basically the general consensus at this point, I should say. More beeping going on. Oh, Saskatchewan, those storms got severe warned. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's good hail in this storm. So this is La Flèche, which is to the southeast of Swift Current, south of the Highway 1, southwest of Moose Jaw. This is moving northward, I believe. Yeah, so it's congealing into a line, but this is out towards Saskatchewan. So just hail in this at this point, it looks like. Obviously, I'm just going to take a look at some wind. There's noise in there, but there's nothing of any significance because, again, it's more of a line. When you do get rotation, a lot of times it's to do with isolated storms, but there is some hail involved in here. So I will usually report on this with people just where those purple areas are. Those are the areas where you might have pea-sized hail. It's nothing of any major significance. Again, my buddy Curtis might be out there. I don't know. I've been on the stream, so I haven't been paying attention. But I know he was going out chasing today, so he may be seeing something out there. But that's why that's severe warned, and it is heading northwest or north, so kind of curving towards Swift Current. So And there's more storms coming up from the US that might get severe warned. So, okay, I think unless anybody's got any major questions right now, I think that's where I'm going to pull the plug on this stream. On the Quebec side, that's the latest scan, and you can see that all of the severity of that line is gone. There's just a little bit of orange left. Things are moving off. This area here is not severe warned down here, but it definitely has some intensity. It's got a lot of rain. It is moving across the St. Lawrence there over the last number of scans. You can see that. So it's kind of going to move to the southeast as it tracks through and then eventually into the US. So that would be the only other area to kind of monitor. It is not severe warned at this point, but that would be what I would pay attention to. If you do get a warning and you're in front of this to the east, as we're indicating here, kind of to the east, Saint Lambert, de Lauzon, all of those areas kind of eastward, just pay attention. But we are about an hour before sunset, and that diurnal heating we get from the sun will definitely, once that sun goes over the horizon, you lose that. So it definitely loses its kick and punch. But however, right now, that is some heavy precipitation there with only a couple of lightning strikes involved. So what else is going on here? So I've been watching A-Team Discord, been quiet on those storms. Okay, thanks, Rick. Yes. What else? Tornado Pro Tom, would you make any streams on Outbreak? If somebody wants to watch us play Outbreak, I would definitely throw it up on the Canadian Weather Live channel. We can organize that. If that's something that people want, yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's a fun time for us. So I would definitely do that. And like I said, we regularly play on Wednesday evenings, but if somebody wants to check it out, we would definitely do that. So what else is going on here? Thank you for the local lens on storms. Happy to do it. Appreciate you being tuned in here. So thank you for that. Joanne, always good to see you from Quebec City. Hopefully it was just mostly rain for you, which I suspect it was. I know you've been on many of our streams, so thank you. Always appreciate you watching. V-Baller Lefty God, I hate it when the live stream stops when having fun. I sit here staring at my stream for a couple minutes afterwards thinking, what next? Well, I appreciate that very much. You can always check out some of our video library for not live streams, but other videos that we've put up for weather events, that kind of stuff. So there's some cool stuff in our library for those kinds of events. I know we are doing soon. Connor and I have been talking. We are looking to do a video for the Dunrobin anniversary for the 10-year, which is still 2 years away, but we're going to compile a bunch of stuff to do that. And we're also going to do one on how to read radar, how to understand radar. So that will also be coming out on our channel. So keep an eye on that one. And yeah, definitely check those things out. And if there's anything you guys want, just reach out by email. Definitely appreciate when people do. And we love talking with people. So yeah, definitely one of those things that I could talk about weather till I'm blue in the face, as you guys probably can tell. So anyways, for those that are going to jump on Outbreak, maybe we'll see you out there. I always go by Twisted Brother, so if you see me out there chasing, that's me. And in the meantime, like I said, I appreciate everybody tuning in. You can check out our merch store, cwlstore.ca. Hit the like button, subscribe, turn on those notifications. We love having you guys on here. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. Thankfully, nothing major happened tonight, which is great. And we will catch you guys on the next live stream, whenever that happens to be. So again, good night. Thank you. Have a good one.